Oates is looking for good pitching again today as Bobby Witt takes the mound against the Padres. Next. It's time for Sunday afternoon baseball at the ballpark in Arlington. The Rangers look for the sweep for the San Diego Padres. It is game 3 of this 3-game interleague series. The Rangers in first place in the American League West. It's a good thing they're winning of late because so are the second place Anaheim Angels. They are red hot. They have won 7 in a row. Rangers start the day with a 3.5 game lead in the West. Bill Jones along with Tom Grieve. Rangers have been beset by some injuries in the infield the last couple of days, but a couple of others have come through, Tom.
Well, as they have all year, Bill, the extra men for the Rangers have done a great job. Domingo Cedeno in this series, he's 3 for 8, had a big home run last night. Fernando Tatis, third baseman, game-winning hit in the first game and a big sacrifice bunt last night.
It was a key play in last night's game. It came in the 5th inning. The sacrifice bunt by Tatis put 2 in scoring position and set up Luis Alicea's 2-out, 2-run double that won last night's game. You race fans will keep you posted on the Canadian Grand Prix, but it's baseball time when we come back on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the Texas Rangers. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, who reminds you the 3 most important words are hay, beer, man. By the Associates. Call the Associates at 1-888-ALONE-FOR-YOU for home equity information. And by Gatorade. You either have it in you or you don't. Life's a sport. Drink it up. It's game number 61 of the 1998 American League season for the Texas Rangers. Interleague game number 3 against the San Diego Padres. Rangers 14 games over 500 as the day begins. And the Southwest Airlines lineup for the San Diego Padres has Kilvio Veras again leading off at second base, followed by Steve Finley and Tony Gwynn. Greg Vaughn is the cleanup man. Wally Joyner, .442 average with runners in scoring position this year. Mandy Romero is the catcher batting 6th, followed by Ruben Rivera in left, Ed Giovanola at third, and Andy Sheets is at shortstop batting 9th for Bruce Bochy. Defensively, Kelly, Goodwin, and Sims in the outfield for Texas. Tatis and Cedeno on the left side, Alicea and Clark on the right with Pudge behind the plate, and it's Bobby Witt on the mound. He is set to face Kilvio Veras as we get started on a nice Sunday afternoon in Texas. Rangers looking for the sweep of the Padres. And Witt starts Veras out with a strike. The numbers on Bobby Witt, Tom.
Winning record, but an ERA of 7.3. His last 8 starts, Bobby Witt's ERA is over 9. Rangers have scored a lot of runs. He's 3-3 in that stretch. He did beat Tampa Bay in his last start. Looked pretty good. The Rangers won that game 7-3. Bobby throws a lot of fastballs and a slider. Opponents are hitting .328. .381 by left-hand hitters. He's had good success against the righties, but the lefties have been problems for him.
Faced 3 left-handed hitters in a row here in the first inning. Veras grounds to Alicea, and there is the first out in the first inning. A good start for Bobby Witt. Gets ahead in the count, and it's an easy ground ball to Luis Alicea at second base. Alicea getting the start at second base as Mark McLemore has been placed on the disabled list with the pulled left hamstring. He sustained the injury in last night's game, and Alicea came through big time in place of McLemore last night. Steve Finley, the hitter, takes a strike, 0-1.
Al Levine never got to leave Texas. He was given 2 days to report to Oklahoma City, so he was still here when Mac went on the disabled list and just went back out on the field.
1 ball and 1 strike to Finley. Al Levine back with the big club without ever leaving. He was just off the roster for 1 game as he was sent down when Roberto Kelly was activated.
Rangers back to that 7-man bullpen.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Johnny likes that 7-man bullpen. And he'll have it for the next couple of weeks, it appears. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Finley, to be followed by Gwynn here in the first inning. Rangers will have to make do for the better part of the next 2 weeks without their keystone combination, Elster and McLemore up the middle. It's 2-2 to Finley. A pulled left hamstring. McLemore said that he felt like he could be back in a week to 10 days, but with hamstring injuries, they tend to take longer than that. So the decision made early today to go ahead and put him on the disabled list. Roberto Kelly was out 7 weeks with a pulled hamstring muscle. Well, Finley draws the walk, and there's a 1-out base runner for the Padres here in the first, with Tony Gwynn coming up. Witt has walked 30 and struck out 29 in now 60 innings pitched this season, and faces the awful tough hitter now in Tony Gwynn. 352 is the average for Gwynn. A rare 0-for in last night's game for Tony Gwynn. He was 0 for 4.
Tony Gwynn was hit by a pitch in the knee in Chicago. And that knee is still bothering him a little bit. He can play. He DH'd the first 2 nights, playing right field tonight. But it bothers him just a little bit when he swings. I don't think he can take the same swing he normally takes. Still a pretty good swing, but I think he feels that knee on some of his swings.
No balls and 1 strike to Gwynn, with a man on and 1 out here in the first. And the Padres without Ken Caminiti in the lineup again today. 2nd straight day Caminiti hasn't been in the lineup for San Diego. He's trying to get things straightened out. Of course, Caminiti has been bothered by injuries, various assorted injuries over the last few years, and has, for the most part, always played on through it. But the Padres trying to give him a couple of days off to get things straightened out. Throw down to first, and Finley just back in there at first base. It was ball 2 to Tony Gwynn at the plate. How close was it? Finley back in ahead of the swipe tag by Clark. Pudge behind the plate. You've seen a lot of times where Rodriguez will take off an afternoon game after a night game, but Pudge wanted to be in there today, and Johnny acquiesced. Didn't want Rodriguez to sleep on an 0 for 3, which he had last night. 3 balls and 1 strike. Rodriguez will be in the lineup every game in Denver the next 3 days as well. Team has an off day on Thursday. There goes Finley. The 3-1 pitch is lofted into left field. Going back is Roberto Kelly. He makes the play. Finley returns to first, and there are 2 outs in the first inning. That is a very big out for Bobby Witt as he gets Tony Gwynn. Let's look at the pitches to Gwynn.
First pitch is a fastball, fouled away. Slider inside, 1-1. Fastball misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Just low, 3-1, and then a good fastball on the inside part of the plate. Gwynn goes the other way, but he hit it a little bit off the handle. Ball didn't carry. Good pitch by Bobby Witt. Down 3 balls and 1 strike. He got Tony Gwynn to pop up to left field.
Here's Greg Vaughn. Takes a ball, 1-0. Vaughn 0 for 4 in last night's game after going 0 for 3 in Friday night's game. He's 0 for 7 in the series, has 20 home runs to lead the Padres. That one's in tight. It's 2 balls and no strikes. .214 average in his career against Witt. He does have 4 home runs in 28 at-bats against the Rangers starter this afternoon.
6 hits and 4 of them are home runs.
And he has a home run in each of his last 10 series played dating back to April. He hits this one to left center field, and it hits the base of the wall. Finley to third being waved home. He will score, and Greg Vaughn delivers home the first run of this game. It's an RBI double, a rope to left center field.
You can't hit a line drive too much harder than this, right to the base of the 390 sign. Line shot by Vaughn. His 11th double of the season. Never got high enough to go out of the ballpark. Take a look at the pitch. It's right out over the plate where the hitter likes it. Pretty much right down the middle, and Vaughn turns on it right to the base of the wall.
So Greg Vaughn has his 49th RBI of the season, and here is Wally Joyner. And at second base, there are 2 outs here in the first. It's 1-0 to Joyner. 1-0 San Diego over Texas. The Rangers play from behind early, and Dick Bosman makes an early visit to the mound. Well, the visitation theory worked so well last night. Mr. Bosman goes out early this afternoon. Padres have now fallen out of first place in the National League West. They are a game behind San Francisco. Manager Bruce Bochy's Padres. They've been in first place for much of the first 2 months of the season. They have now lost 4 of their last 5 games, and the Giants are suddenly red hot.
There's a bunch of teams that are red hot, Bill. Giants have won 8. Cubs have won 8. Angels have won 7. Won't even count the Yankees because its streak of 5 or 6 for them is just pretty routine. But they've won 6 straight too.
219 the average for Wally Joyner against Bobby Witt. Of course, Joyner formerly in the American League with the Royals and the Angels. .20 pitch to Wally Joyner. That's in there. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. That's a nice afternoon for baseball here in Arlington. And a big crowd on a Sunday afternoon. It is bat day. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike to Joyner. Johnny Oates looking on from the Ranger dugout. Liked what he saw out of John Burkett in last night's game. It was the Rangers' 5th shutout of the season, a combined job, Burkett and Wetland. And it is ball 4 to Wally Joyner. That's the 2nd walk of the first inning for Bobby Witt. You see Mr. Burkett as he got his 4th win in 9 decisions last night. He's put together 2 quality starts in a row. So 2 men on for San Diego. As Witt has 2 walks in the first inning. He walked 4 in 5 1/3 innings in his last start at Tampa Bay.
On the season, Bobby's averaged just about 4.5 walks per 9 innings, which isn't terrible, but it's still too high. He struggled with the command of his pitches in the first inning.
Faces Mandy Romero here. Romero, a switch hitting catcher who was just called up from AAA Las Vegas. Some good numbers at AAA. 290 the average, 8 home runs in 40 games. Greg Myers was placed on the disabled list. This is Kelly's ball in left field, and he makes the play. The Padres leave 2 men on in the first, but they do score the first run of this game. The Rangers will hit when we come back on Fox Sports Southwest. First inning before what appears to be a capacity crowd here at the ballpark in Arlington. It's the Rangers and the San Diego Padres. Southwest Airlines lineup for Texas has Tom Goodwin leading off at center field. Luis Alicea, a .421 hitter with runners at second or third. Pudge hits third this afternoon and catches. Gonzalez is the DH hitting cleanup. Will Clark hits 5th and plays first base. Mike Sims is in right field. The bottom third of the order has Roberto Kelly in left, Domingo Cedeno at short, and Fernando Tatis bats 9th and plays third base for Johnny Oates. Defensively for San Diego, Rivera, Finley, and Gwynn across the outfield. Giovanola and Sheets on the left side. Veras and Joyner on the right with Romero behind the plate. And the veteran left-hander Mark Langston is on the mound for San Diego.
1-0 on the season. Just activated from the disabled list on May 23rd. This will be his 3rd start since that activation. 4-time All-Star, 7-time Gold Glove winner. Big time career record against Texas. He's 15-9 with a .328 earned run average in his career with Texas. But in those days, he threw harder than he does right now with the injuries and the added years. Not quite the same pitcher he used to be. 61% fastball, a lot of curveballs, throwing more changeups now than ever before. There's his big curveball.
And he gets ahead of Tom Goodwin. No balls and 2 strikes here. Goodwin, the leadoff man for Texas, to be followed by Alicea and Rodriguez here in the first inning. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Langston last year was with the Angels. Only started 9 games a year ago. Had a stiff left elbow and a strained left shoulder earlier this season. It was the shoulder injury that put him on the disabled list in mid-April, and he was on for more than a month. Goodwin just getting out of the way of that one. That was way out of the strike zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Another look. Goodwin got a rest for the first 7 innings of last night's game as Roberto Kelly started in center field last night. And for Goodwin, that was the first time in a long time since Kelly's injury in late April, since he was not the starter in center field. This is back over the head of Langston. The charge by Andy Sheets. He's unable to come up with it. And yet another infield hit for Tom Goodwin.
Well, if he puts it on the ground, he has a chance. And if it takes a high hop, he really has a chance. Langston's a great fielding pitcher, tremendous athlete. But he can't jump high enough to get this high chopper. Once it gets over his head, it's just about a sure base hit. Sheets does all he can do to field the ball. But I don't think it made much difference whether he fielded it or not. That was going to be a base hit.
Well, Goodwin is halfway to another 2-hit game. His last 4 starts, he's had 2 hits in each of them. Luis Alicea, the hitter. And he bunts it foul, pops it, and Andy Romero not enough time to come up with that one. It's no balls and 1 strike. The Canadian Grand Prix winner, Michael Schumacher. We will have some highlights for you of the finish of that one, and coming up in just a moment. Just a little bit here on Fox Sports Southwest. As we began the Ranger game prior to the end of that race, Michael Schumacher, the winner of the Canadian Grand Prix today. Goodwin takes his lead at first. Langston with the throw over, and Goodwin's back in there. Langston has had a good pickoff move in his career. As Tom mentioned, 7 Gold Gloves in his career. Another throw over to first base. Goodwin, 22 stolen bases in 32 attempts. Here is the 0-1 pitch to Alicea as Goodwin is going, and that one is low in the dirt, and it hit Alicea. Alicea takes his base. A hit batter. Goodwin on to second base.
He takes a stolen base away from Tom Goodwin, who had a great jump on Langston. He timed it right. Would have stolen second base easily, but the looked like breaking ball, slider down and in. Nicked Alicea. Rangers have the first 2 men out in the first inning for Pudge.
See Alicea trying to get out of the way of that one, and the home plate umpire Drew Coble says it hit him, so he is on at first base. Here is Rodriguez hitting 3rd in the lineup against Langston, as Rusty Greer is off to start this one. No one breaking behind Goodwin there, as he was leaning the other way as Langston made his move back towards second base. 376 is the average for Pudge after his 0 for 3 night last night. Langston misses. It's 1-0. An infield single and a hit batter, and the Rangers have 2 men on with nobody out here in the first. Goodwin at second base, Alicea at first, and Rodriguez with 36 RBIs on the season is the hitter. The 1-0 pitch to Rodriguez. It misses. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Langston having some difficulties with the control early. Dave Stewart is the pitching coach for the Padres. 4-time 20-game winner in his playing career. San Diego pitchers, from the sound of it, have really taken to Dave Stewart as the pitching coach. What a start to this year for the Padre pitching staff. On the 2-0 pitch, it's fouled off the top of the Padre dugout, and what a catch by Jerry Narron, the third base coach, on the rebound. Narron with the signals down in the third base coaching box.
With a guy like Langston, what the Padres are hoping is that he's got a little bit left to still be an effective 5th starter in the big leagues. He's never going to resemble the pitcher he was in his prime when he won 175 games, 4-time All-Star. Doesn't throw as hard, breaking ball's not quite as sharp, but he's still got a lot of experience. He fields his position well. And with every player, there comes a time when you can't play anymore, and the Padres are hoping that that's not this year for Langston.
242 the average for Pudge against Langston in his career. The last time Langston was an All-Star was 5 years ago. He was a starter in the '93 All-Star game when he was a member of the Angels. Had a 16-11 season that year. Last time he was a double-figure winner was in '95 with the Angels when he went 15-7. He's combined for 8 wins the last 2 years with the Angels and 9 losses. There goes Goodwin, and this one is fouled off right side. Goodwin returning to second base. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Pudge. Mark Langston is now 37 years old. What a start to his career he had with the strikeouts in Seattle, starting with the '84 season, his rookie year. There go the runners, and the throw down to third. It gets away. Goodwin gets up. He's headed home. Alicea to third, and Goodwin scores. How about that? The Rangers have tied it. Rodriguez, the strikeout victim at the plate, but Goodwin scores on the play.
That's what speed will do for you. Goodwin didn't get a terribly great jump, but he's got the great speed. We'll take a look at that jump. Goodwin on the run. The throw is low and bounces. Giovinazzo can't handle it. It doesn't roll too far away. It's certainly far away enough for Goodwin to score, and far enough for Alicea with a slide to beat the throw to third base. Rangers have a man at third and only 1 out.
Some heads-up base running there by Alicea as he was able to get it to third. To get into third, it's a 1-1 game. It's a stolen base. Back to double steal. Goodwin and Alicea, and the error charged to Mandy Romero, the catcher, on the low throw that got away just far enough at third base for Goodwin to score and Alicea to move on to third.
Another RBI situation for Juan Gonzalez. Man at third base and 1 out. Fly ball will score him. Ground ball will score him. Infield back at all positions. Put the ball in play except for a pop up to the infield or a ground ball to the pitcher. You've got a great chance for an RBI.
Langston's ahead. No balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez here. 1-2. Padres intentionally walked Gonzalez in the first inning of last night's game. Sterling Hitchcock had a situation where there was a man at second base, Mark McLemore, after a 1-out double. And with 2 outs, they elected to walk Gonzalez and pitch to Clark. And it's 2-2 to Gonzalez. Luis Alicea 90 feet away at third base with 1 out. Gonzalez with 76 RBIs on the season. He had 3 more runs batted in Friday night's game. He is 3 for 6 in the series. The 2-2 pitch. The appeal down, did not go around, says the first base umpire Dale Ford. And the count runs full 3-2.
Good call by Dale Ford. Juan really gets his bat started early on every pitch. If he sees one he likes, he lets it fly. Sometimes the ones he doesn't like, he's unable to check his swing, but he was then.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Gonzalez pops it foul. It will reach the seats right side. Langston having to work here in the first inning. It's an infield single by Goodwin, and then a hit batter. He was able to strike out Rodriguez, but on strike 3, Rangers worked the double steal, force an error, and score the run that tied this game at 1. Here you see the situation with a man at third and 1 out for 1. And the 3-2 pitch misses. Gonzalez gets the walk. And with 1 out, the Rangers have runners at the corners now.
Well, what Langston was saying with that at bat was, I'll pitch to Juan, but I'm not going to throw him a strike. I'll either walk him or I'm going to get him to swing at a bad pitch. The 3-2 pitch is not even close. It's down in the dirt. Juan starts to offer at it, but he lays off. When Langston was in his prime, he had probably an 88 to 92 mile-an-hour fastball and a hard curveball. He got a lot of strikeouts from right-hand hitters who couldn't lay off that breaking ball down and out of the strike zone.
Clark takes one in tight. 1-0. .293 the average for Will. He has 4 hits in this series. He's 4 for 9. A couple of 2-hit nights. And he has a big RBI opportunity here. The Rangers try to break out on top of the Padres. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Clark now in his last 5 games hitting .400. He is 8 for his last 20. Lefty against lefty here. Throw over to first base. Rangers have won 9 straight interleague games here at the ballpark. Dating back to the first interleague game ever played, when they lost to the San Francisco Giants, but they've won every one since. 2 balls and 1 strike. Trying to make it a perfect 5-0 at the ballpark against the San Diego Padres. Clark with a look down third base way. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. And it's now 3-1. Well, Langston has had a hit batter in the inning. He had a walk to Gonzalez, and now he falls behind 3-1 to Clark. 25 pitches for Langston. Bruce Bochy, the Padre manager, appearing to have a good time here in the first inning.
Like he's praying. Hope I don't have to go to the bullpen in the first inning.
This is popped left side. Foul territory. The third baseman Giovanola has it, and there is the second out. So Langston is able to get Clark for the second out.
That's a big out for Langston. With 1 out, he gets Will to pop up to the infield. The runner stays at third.
And so now it will be up to Mike Sims. Clark shows his frustration.
Hitters hate it when they don't get that runner in from third base with less than 2 outs. Kind of an easy shot at an RBI. And when you pop up, it's frustrating.
Mike Sims takes a strike, 0-1. Sims getting the start in right field this afternoon as Gonzalez has a pseudo day off. He is DHing today, and so he's not playing in the field, so that sort of gives him a day off. Of course, he'll be playing in the field the next 3 days in Denver with no designated hitter in the lineup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pitchers will be hitting starting tomorrow.
And the Ranger pitchers can only hope that they hit as well this year as they did last year.
Johnny Oates says that he just hopes he'll be happy if they hit half as well as they did last year. They'd still have a pretty good batting average if they were able to do that.
Johnny was talking. I asked him who the worst hitting pitcher was that he ever saw.
There's the pitching matchup tomorrow. Seeley and Estacio. It's on KXTX 39.
And he said without a doubt it was Jose Albero. He used to pitch for the Rangers. He said that Jose Albero could hit forever and not hit the ball out of the infield. Said they used to have a game they would play depending on how far the ball went, would be whether it was a single, a double, or a triple. For Jose Albero, a fair ball was a hit, and out of the infield was a home run. Johnny said he didn't hit a home run the whole year. And he brought up that bet that Brian McRae made with one of the Cub pitchers. I'm trying to think who it was.
It Frank Castillo?
I think it was Frank Castillo. Where if he hit a home run in batting practice, he'd buy him a Mercedes. Well, Castillo was such a bad hitter, but he finally did hit a home run in batting practice, and McRae bought him a Mercedes. Johnny said he told Albero he would buy him a Mercedes, a house, and give him $1 million cash if he hit a home run.
And not a home run out of the infield by
no, a legitimate home run over the fence. But I guess if they were giving him a home run out of the infield, there wasn't much threat of Albero doing that. He must have been one of those kids as a little leaguer who never picked up a bat, only liked to throw it.
Well, it's 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Mike Sims. In a 1-1 game, Rangers have runners at first and third with 2 outs. It's up to Sims to try to take the lead here. And here comes Alicea to the plate, and he is out at the plate. It was ball 4 to Mike Sims. Alicea breaks for home as the ball got away just a few feet at home plate, and Alicea is the 3rd out of the inning. It's a 1-1 game. We are through 1 here at the ballpark in Arlington. As we go to the 2nd inning here at the ballpark, it is a 1-1 game, and here on Fox Sports Southwest, you race fans were watching the Canadian Grand Prix before the baseball game started, and here is the finish to that Canadian Grand Prix as Michael Schumacher wins for the 29th time in his career. The celebration ensues for Michael Schumacher. And it continues, we suppose, in Montreal for Michael Schumacher and the race crew.
We can only hope that he doesn't drink that whole bottle. It may be his last celebration.
Well, we also hope that he doesn't drive after the celebration. Ruben Rivera is the hitter. He pops it up left side. Shielding the eyes is Tatis, and he makes the play. And there is 1 out here in the 2nd inning. Well, it was a strange ending to the bottom of the 1st inning as Mike Sims drew the walk that would have loaded the bases, and Alicea, trying to score from 3rd base on ball 4, was the out at the plate.
That's a judgment call by the runner. You can't wait for the 3rd base coach to tell you what to do. The time between that instruction and your start sometimes would be the difference between being out or being safe. So you have to make the judgment call on your own. And Louis obviously thought that that ball was going to roll further away from the catcher than it did. The ball only rolled a few feet away. I think Louis knew as soon as he started that he'd made a mistake, and he was out by a mile at home plate. The thing that hurts on that is Langston was really struggling, having a real hard time throwing strikes. That was his 2nd walk. He'd hit a batter. Rangers weren't hitting the ball hard, but with the bases loaded and as poor as his command was in the 1st inning, a legitimate chance to score some more.
Here's Langston in the Padre dugout. So he gets out of the inning. Just one run scored, and it was an earned run, despite the error by Mandy Romero. Is there a couple of walks after Goodwin with runners with 2 men on. One of the walks would have forced in the run. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Giovanola. Well, like Mark Langston, Bobby Witt walked a couple in his first inning of work. He tries to settle down here in the second. And around on this one, sending it to right field. Going back is Sims. And he makes the play on the track for the second out. Like Sims had a little bit of trouble picking that ball up off the bat at first, but he was able to recover enough to run it down on the track.
Playing the outfield is not an easy proposition when you're only out there on an occasional basis. Mike makes a nice recovery, makes a running catch right in front of the track on a ball hit well by Giovanola. Mike wearing the shades made the play.
For Mike Sims, this is his 5th start in right field this season. Andy Sheets is the hitter. He's the number 9 man in the order for Bruce Bochy, hitting .211 on the year. Chris Gomez started at short the first 2 games of the series. He has the afternoon off, and Andy Sheets gets the start. Takes a strike from Witt. 0-1. Sheets was with the Mariners last year. This is Tatis at third. And he makes it look so easy at third base. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres in the second. We are tied at 1 on a Sunday afternoon at the ballpark. Here on a Sunday at the ballpark, 1-1 is the score. Both the Padres and the Rangers with a hit apiece. The Padre error led to the run by the Rangers. And Mark Langston into a second inning of work faces Roberto Kelly. It's the bottom third of the order for Texas. Kelly, Cedeno, and Tatis against Langston. And here is the 0-1 pitch. A swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Kelly making his first start since way back in April, on April 26th in Kansas City. Last night's game, he went 0 for 4, a couple of strikeouts early. Did make a long run in center field to flag down a deep fly ball. And it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Langston to start the second inning. That's the second strikeout for Mark Langston this afternoon.
A changeup on the outside corner, had Roberto out in front of it. Good pitch by Langston, who has thrown a lot of changeups to right-hand hitters with some success. It'll take Roberto a little while to get his timing down. He was in a pretty good groove before he went on the disabled list. Had some big hits for the Rangers, but when you lay off that long, you can take a lot of batting practice, but it's not the same as game conditions. Roberto getting a chance to play in back-to-back games, but it'll take him a while to get back in the swing of things.
0-1 pitch to Cedeno, misses away 1-1. And Roberto getting a start in left field in today's game. Rusty Greer will take at least the first half of this game off. You probably expect to see Rusty Greer later, depending on how long Langston goes in this game. It's an all right-handed bullpen for San Diego. It's also a way to ease Roberto Kelly into playing time. As the Rangers are assured of just facing the one left-hander today, the starter Langston. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Cedeno. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, Domingo had a nice night last night. He went 2 for 4 in the game and had his first home run of the season. Hit it from the right side, and there was never a doubt about it either. This one's fouled off. Now holds at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cedeno's homer came off the starter Sterling Hitchcock. Traveled 345 feet down the line. Got out of there quickly. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Grounded to deep short. Sheets in the hole with a long throw, and he does get Cedeno at first base. There's the second out here in the second inning. And let's say hello to John Rodigan. John, how are you?
Hey, Bill, for the Rangers, today's game could be a walk in the park. That is if Mark Langston holds true to form. Langston, the career leader all-time of active pitchers in walks. He's walked 2 today. That's 1238 for his career. Of course, it could be a walk in the park for the Padres, too. Second on that career list as far as active pitchers and walks is Bobby Witt. He's now at 1226. But what the heck? It's a pretty nice day for a walk in the park. Bill and Tom, back to you guys.
All right, Tatis into center field, and it will fall in front of Steve Finley. It's a 2-out single for Fernando Tatis. That's the second hit for the Rangers off Mark Langston.
Earlier in the season, Fernando couldn't buy a hit. And the last month, he's getting some hits. He's had a lot of balls fall in, and here's another one. Little blooper into center field. Finley playing pretty deep with a couple of outs and nobody on. Can't get to it. Fernando came in hitting .281.
And it goes up with a hit his first time up. Tom Goodwin is the hitter, back to the top of the order. Tatis the runner at first base. Tatis now has a 5-game hit streak. In this good run of his over the last month, he has 2 7-game hit streaks and now a 5-game hit streak. He has hits in 19 of his last 21 games. And now over the last 29 games, hitting over .350 at .354. And it just got better. Goodwin with the infield single back in the first inning, and he scored the run. Got his 23rd stolen base of the year. Quick throw that time from Langston, and Tatis able to get back. Tatis has 6 stolen bases on the year. And it's 2-0 to Goodwin. Rangers at 37-23 on the season. 3.5 game lead on Anaheim. The Mariners and the A's are now tied for 3rd place, 10.5 games back. Slowly hit left side. Giovannola, high throw. Joyner able to get the foot down just in front of Goodwin for the final out. A 2-out single by Tatis, but he is stranded. We are through 2 here at the ballpark in Arlington, and it is 1-1. You can still reserve your favorite seats for every Rangers home game. Rangers season tickets are on sale now here at the ballpark in Arlington. Benefits include guaranteed playoff options, preferred parking, and ticket exchange privileges. Call Metro 817-273-5100. The fans have the fans out today on Bat Day at the ballpark. Not as warm as it could be in June, but it is warmer than it's been the last couple of days here. We've caught a break in the weather the last couple of days. Temperature into the 80s today probably. 1-1 is the score as we go to the 3rd inning. This is the top of the order. Kilvio Veras, the hitter.
Couple of change-ups from Bobby. He's tried to throw a lot of change-ups to work that in. In some games he's got a good one.
And it's 2-1 to Veras. Veras hitting well of late. He has an 8-game hit streak going. John Burkett got a big strikeout of Veras last night in the 7th inning of that game. It was a close game, 2-0 game in the top of the 7th inning. The Padres had a couple on with 2 out, and Veras struck out to end the inning. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kevin Elster on the walking wounded. Elster and McLemore are both on the disabled list now. Elster has the shoulder injury. He won't be back until at least June 17th. Well, this is the first time, Tom, that the Rangers have really had to dealt with very much in the way of injuries as far as the position players go. And it'll be interesting to see that the combination of Cedeno and Alicea can come through as they have the last couple of days. Alicea trying for that one, but he gets past him, and Veras has the base hit to right field.
I don't think the Rangers, it's been a long time since they've had a bench better equipped to deal with injuries than the one they've got this year. Got a lot of guys that have played regularly at different times throughout their major league careers. And when the opportunity arises, they're ready to step in and do the same. And so far, so good with the injuries. You hate to have any one of your regular players injured. But it makes it a lot easier when the other guys step in and get the job done. And the Rangers have seen virtually every guy do that for them 2 months into the season.
Throw over where Veras is at first base. You look around the Rangers with 4 bench players in the starting lineup this afternoon, and Johnny Oates said he feels good about this lineup this afternoon. So Kelly in left and Sims in right, in the middle of the infield, Cedeno and Alicea.
When the season's over, all that they notice is whether you won or lost, not how many injuries you had. And you can use that as an excuse, and a lot of teams do, but the bottom line is everybody has injuries, and how you deal with them is what counts, and a lot of times determines whether or not you win. I think that's one of the reasons Doug Melvin put so much time into the off-season acquisition of a lot of these players, knowing that throughout the course of the year there's going to be opportunities for everybody to play. And it's hard to keep playing at the same level of performance if you're using younger players who aren't accustomed to sitting on the bench and playing occasionally. You really need veteran guys in that role if you want to be successful. And they've got those guys this year.
1 ball, 1 strike. Veras, the runner at first base. Steve Finley, the hitter. Veras has 9 stolen bases in 12 attempts this season. So Witt trying to keep him close at first base here.
Which doesn't mean you want to go for an extended period of time without Mark McLemore and Kevin Elster. Those are the main guys, and you want them back in there as soon as possible. But in the meantime, it's nice to have guys that can get the job done.
Here goes Veras. Pitches outside, the throw down, and it's in time. Pudge guns down Veras, only the 4th time this season he has been caught stealing.
Well, he had a huge jump off Bobby Witt. It's a very close play at second base that could have gone either way. Watch the jump. Veras is off. The second Bobby Witt starts his move to the plate. This is all Pudge Rodriguez with the throw and the tag at second base. They get Veras. He's not too happy with the call. And again, it was a very close play. But on a play that looked like it could be a stolen base easily, I guess you can never say that, though, with Pudge behind the plate.
Well, this is to right center field, and it is between Goodwin and Sims. Goodwin loses a handle on it, and Finley's around second. He heads to third. Good thing for the caught stealing. Finley is to third base.
See how that one scored. Tom gets to the ball and then can't handle it. Finley with good speed goes all the way to third base. That could be a triple all the way. It might be a single or double and an error. We'll wait and see. Tom actually has it in his glove. I don't think he could have held Finley to a single. That might be a double and an error, which remains to be seen.
And that's a hustling error there.
Right, exactly. A lot of guys don't even get to that ball, just rolls to the wall for a triple.
Well, if you're a manager, you don't mind an error like that, because he was hustling for that ball, trying to come up with it quickly to make the throw to second base, and he just lost it out of his glove. That's Goodwin's first error of the season. It's a double, and the error allowing Finley to go to third base. Tony Gwynn is the hitter with 1 out and a runner at third. 16 doubles on the season for Finley. He was alongside Tim Flannery, the third base coach. 1 ball and 1 strike to Tony Gwynn. this is a broken bat to the right side. The run will score. Clark steps on first. Witt has the rest of his bat in his hand. He picks up the other 3/4 of it. Witt gets the RBI. It's a 2-1 lead for San Diego.
Here's the pitch from Bobby Witt. Down, looked like Tony hit it right off the end of the bat. Bat shatters, and he keeps the ball in fair play. Will playing back, has no play at the plate. It's Tony Gwynn at first base, but the run does score.
37 RBIs for Gwynn. This is into medium deep, now shallow left field. Roberto Kelly makes the play for the third out, but the Padres score their second run of the game through 2.5 innings against Bobby Witt. San Diego leads Texas. It's 2-1. Sports Southwest are brought to you by Southwest Airlines. With fares so low, you have the freedom to go places. And by the Discover card. It pays to discover. Accepted where you see the Nova sign. Bottom of the third inning here at the ballpark. Rangers and the Padres as Texas tries for the 3-game sweep of San Diego, but the Padres have other ideas apparently. They lead it 2-1 through 2.5 innings. It's Alicea, Rodriguez, and Gonzalez for Texas, the 2, 3, and 4 hitters here in the third against Mark Langston. First pitch to Alicea. It's a ball, 1-0. The Rangers as a team hitting .340 in their last 4 games. Continue to do the job at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Alicea, 2 home runs and 8 RBIs in his last 4 games. He had the back-to-back games earlier in the week in which he hit 3-run homers. Fox Southwest is where you're watching this game this afternoon. Hear the offense of the Texas Rangers. San Diego, beware. Wow. That takes some pregame thinking. First off, you got to realize that the game is on Fox Sports Southwest, and then you make what you can out of FOX SW, and they did that. Alicea draws the walk. There's a leadoff walk here in the third. The Rangers' upcoming schedule is brought to you by Original Coors, so this will help you make your signs out if you go to Denver this week. KXTX 39 tomorrow at 8, Tuesday at 8. Rangers and the Rockies, and then back here on Fox Sports Southwest, the Wednesday night game is an 8 o'clock start time. That will close out this first window of interleague play. Rangers will be playing a total of 16 interleague games. These 6, 3 against the Padres, 3 against the Rockies, and it's back against American League West opponents for about 10 days, and then back to interleague play. All of it to be wrapped up before the All-Star break this year. 1 ball and no strikes to Rodriguez. Strikeout victim in the first inning against Langston.
Well, the key for the Rangers against Langston, at least the way he's throwing right now, basically don't swing, because he's not throwing many strikes. A couple of times the Rangers have let him off the hook by swinging at bad pitches.
This one is past Sheets at short, into left field, sharply hit off the bat of Rodriguez.
That, on the other hand, was a pitch right down the middle that you do want to swing at. Pudge Rodriguez hits a bullet past the shortstop. We've seen a play like that made the last couple of nights. Chris Gomez backhanded one the first night and caught one on his glove side last night. If this one gets by, this ball is really hit hard. Not much of a chance for Andy Sheets to make that play.
So the Rangers have matched the Padres in the hit column now. 3 hits for both teams. And here's Gonzalez with 2 on and nobody out in the third. Rangers down a run. Gonzalez tries to come through against Langston. Fouls it off. 0-1. Gonzalez walked his first time. Juan with a couple of walks, in fact 3 walks in the series. He hasn't walked in each of the last 3 games now. The average 3.01. Langston with 3 walks and a hit batter early in this game. There's a swing and a miss. It's no balls and 2 strikes to Gonzalez. Well, he got ahead 0-2 against Gonzalez his first time, and Gonzalez worked the walk.
Good curveball from Langston, down and in. Probably the best breaking ball he's thrown all day.
Oh, 2 pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As you missed it late last night, the Angels were 2-1 winners over the Rockies. See, Gonzalez has 3 home runs in his career against Langston. Well, the Horn Man is at it this afternoon.
Boy, he can do it. It's got a regular horn painted red. I thought that was one of the plastic ones, but that's the real deal.
There's the Horn Man. Just tuning up. He had a real trombone last night.
That might be it, painted red. Last night it wasn't. Last night it wasn't painted. He painted it for the game.
Back to the mound, off Langston, and it's past Veras into shallow right field. Alicea scores. Rodriguez to third. How about that? Gonzalez has another RBI in unconventional fashion.
I'll tell you one thing, when you're going good, it seems to all go your way. This is one of those balls that could easily, not easily, but could have been played. Langston's a great fielder. This is a tough chance, though. It's a line drive back at him. I think it kind of fooled him. It hit one off the handle and wasn't hit that hard. But if you're the pitcher, sometimes it's hard to judge how hard the ball is hit. Goes off Langston, goes past the second baseman into right field. Juan gets a base hit, gets an RBI. It's first and third and nobody out. That's a big break for the Rangers. The ball could have bounced right straight to the second baseman, but instead it bounced right by him.
RBI number 77 for Juan Gonzalez. Well, when you get that many RBIs, you get a lot that are a little different, and that one was a little different. It managing a smile over there at first base was Juan Gonzalez after he hit it. First and third of the runners, and Clark sends it into right field. Coming on is Gwynn. He makes the play. The tag by Rodriguez at third, and he is safe. And the Rangers have the lead. It's 3-2 Texas. This time, Clark delivers the man home from third base with less than 2 outs. A sacrifice fly for Will Clark.
Off the end of the bat, Tony Gwynn coming forward on the ball. Makes the throw home. Not much of a chance to get the sliding Rodriguez at the plate.
Clark with his second sacrifice fly of the season, and Mike Sims is the hitter. There's a man on. There's 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Ball 1 to Sims. Sims walked his first time. Rangers have 2 runs in the inning off Mark Langston. Trying to check his swing. He went around, 1 ball and 1 strike. (3-2) Texas over San Diego. Sims, a former National Leaguer himself. He was with the Astros. He pops it up right side. Veras out on the outfield grass. He makes the play, and there is the second out here in the third inning. Tonight on NFL Europe, it's the game you've all been waiting for. The Frankfurt Galaxy against the Rhine Fire. If the Galaxy win this game, they advance to the World Bowl to play who else? The Rhine Fire. A World Bowl preview. Find out tonight at 6 o'clock on Fox Sports Southwest. Galaxy will have to beat the Fire to play the Fire in the World Bowl.
Pretty tough to beat one of those European teams 2 times in a row.
Roberto Kelly is the hitter. And I guess Frankfurt will have to beat Rhine twice to win the world title.
If they want to win it all, they're going to have to do that.
Kelly, he pops this one behind second. And back there is Veras to make the play. So 2-run score for the Rangers in the third, and Texas has the lead. It's 3-2. It's a Ranger lead over the Padres, 3-2, as we are through 3 innings here at the ballpark in Arlington. For a free poster of the Pepsi all-time greatest Texas high school football team, send a UPC symbol or register receipt from a Pepsi 12-pack to the address on your screen, P.O. Box 704027. That's Dallas, and I did not see the zip code, but 75370. Go to the fourth. 3-2 Texas over San Diego. First ball swinging is Wally Joyner, and Alicea up and throwing. He has it. There's one out.
That's what we like, those first ball hitters on getaway day. Need to see more of that. That should be like the game plan.
Well, we've had some walks this afternoon.
We have. That's not in the game plan for getaway day.
Langston has walked 3, and he has hit a batter. Witt walked a couple in the first inning. None since then. After the game, Rangers head to Denver. 3-game series with the Colorado Rockies Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday nights. Get to test out that rarefied air again at Coors Field in Denver. Well, we had some high-scoring games last year there. 1 ball, 1 strike to Mandy Romero. 2-1. Romero playing his first game at the big league level in 1998. He was up for 21 games with the Padres last year. He spent a lot of time in the minor leagues. He is 30 years old. 10 seasons in the minors for Mandy Romero. Veteran catcher Greg Myers went on the disabled list. And Romero was called up. Tom Goodwin in center field has it. And there is the second out here in the fourth. John Wright again now with some special guests. John.
Yeah, Bill, I caught up with the hornmen, and there is one custom-made horn here. Mike Hayes, one of the hornmen, has a custom-made trombone, and it is painted red, and it's custom-made in that the slide doesn't come out, because if the slide did come out, it would be hitting the guy in the head who sits in front of him. Serenade us a little bit, guys, if you would. One of those is a plastic horn. You can tell the difference, can't you, guys? Boy, that sounds good. Back to you.
All right. I guess it's a good thing, since you're sitting in front of the horn man, Mike Hayes, that he has that fixed properly for a game. Ruben Rivera is the hitter. No balls and 2 strikes. Boy, he's a great fan, the horn man is. One ball and 2 strikes to Rivera. And he serenades us on a regular basis here at the ballpark. They are located just below our broadcast booth. It's how we became familiar with him. There it is. You see the Fox Sports Southwest banner. We're up here, and the horn man down there.
I want to hear John play that horn.
You know, oh, there's a net down the line. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard Mr. Radigan play the horn later, now that you have suggested it, Tom.
I suggested it to him. He didn't look too enthused by the idea, though.
This one is to Kelly, and over the shoulder grab on the track in left field. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres for the second time in the first 4 innings this afternoon. Mr. Radigan's the horn man.
Very impressive.
You both look very good on TV.
Rangers kick off the weekend series with the Anaheim Angels on Friday, when the game will include a special pregame presentation to Fort Worth's sister city, Nagaoka, Japan, featuring 52 Japanese samurai. For tickets, visit Eddie Dillard's ticket outlet or call Metro 817-273-5100. Angels come calling on Friday, and it's the start of a 4-game series. It should be a good one. It'll be the first time the Rangers have met the Angels in the '98 season. Domingo Cedeno, for almost being hit by the pitch the first time, fouls it off. There's a glove and a net down the line there, and the glove got the ball. Another look. Oh, he didn't have the glove on.
Very impressive.
Almost as impressive as John Radigan on the trombone.
He got noise out of that thing. Wouldn't call it a melody, however.
2-1 to Cedeno. And this one is lifted into left center field. Racing over is Finley. He says he has it, and he does. And there's the first out in the 4th inning. 1 down in the 4th, and Fernando Tatis is the hitter. A nice Sunday afternoon. It is breezy this afternoon here at the ballpark. The wind has shifted now back out of the south, it looks like. It's been a northerly breeze the last couple of days. And when the wind is out of the south, which it customarily is here in Texas in the summertime, it can create the jet stream and see some home runs flying out of here, but none so far this afternoon. Well, Tatis was bunting, trying to bunt his way on here. Bunts it foul, no balls and 1 strike. Got down the sacrifice bunt in last night's game. Swing and a miss. 0-2. He labored at it a little bit last night, but he got it down, and it was a good one. Moved runners to 2nd and 3rd. And Luis Alicea had a 2-out, 2-run double to break a scoreless tie in the 5th inning in last night's game. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tatis. Action this afternoon around baseball. A couple of finals already. Interleague play all over the place. The rest of the Western Division teams playing late this afternoon and tonight. Tatis just gets out of the way of that one. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Blue Jays over the Phillies this afternoon, 3-1, and Chris Carpenter pitches very well for Toronto in that one. He beat Kurt Schilling. Seven and 2/3 innings, 1 run, 8 hits for Chris Carpenter.
It's been a workout for Mandy Romero behind home plate. Langston has bounced pitch after pitch down in the dirt with that curveball. He's thrown some good ones. The majority of them have been well out of the strike zone and in the dirt.
Romero, his first major league game of the year. Full count to Tatis. Here is the 3-2 pitch. Fouled off left side. Cleveland over Cincinnati this afternoon, 6-1 the final score. And Dave Burba, the starting pitcher for the Indians, not only gets the win, but against his former team, the Reds, he also hit a 2-run homer.
Cleveland has really turned their pitching around. Got off to a terrible start with their pitching. Every one of them's turned it around.
That's a fair ball down the line, just inside the bag at third. Tatis to second base. The throw in by Rivera, not in time. And Tatis has 2 hits this afternoon. Hit number 5 off Langston.
Right down the line.
And that is the first extra base hit of the afternoon for Texas. Tatis. By the way, he has turned it around in the last month. Here's Goodwin now. He had an infield single in the first. Rangers with a man in scoring position, trying to add to a 3-2 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He misses downstairs, 1-0. There is action in the San Diego bullpen. Pete Smith, who has been in the Padre starting rotation this season, has made a couple of relief appearances of late, though, and he is working out of the bullpen now. 1-1 to Goodwin. Langston went 5 innings in his last start, gave up 1 run on 7 hits against the Astros. Threw 93 pitches in that start. He has thrown 75 pitches this afternoon. Tatis back in at second base as Sheets comes over from his shortstop position. Mark Langston with injury problems the last couple of years. Had an elbow problem last year with the Angels. Knee surgery the year before. Once upon a time, he was traded for Randy Johnson earlier in his career. Went from Seattle to Montreal back in 1989 in a deal that included Randy Johnson. And strike 3 called. There's the second out in the 4th inning. A trivia question is brought to you by the Associates, who has more saves since the start of the '95 season, Trevor Hoffman or John Wetland. Both have performed admirably. We'll have the answer to that Associates trivia question coming up shortly. Hoffman's having a great year, and so is Wetland. It's one of those situations with both the Padres and the Rangers. They turn it into an 8-inning game. Their team has the lead. Alicea pops it left side. Coming in for it is Sheets. He makes the play for the final out in the 4th. So Tatis is left on base. We are through 4 at the ballpark, and the Rangers lead it by 1. Langston has allowed 9 of 20 hitters so far to reach base. Bobby Witt facing just 1 batter over the minimum since the first inning. 80 pitches for Langston in the first 4 innings. Langston, with a man in scoring position here in the last inning, got Tom Goodwin for strike 3 right there. That was a big strikeout for Langston, 1 of 3 on the afternoon for him. So you see a Sunday night crowd or Sunday afternoon crowd here at the ballpark. Has to be a sellout. Last night was a sellout here, the 5th of the year. And it's a full house watching this afternoon. As the day began, there were about 4,000 tickets available. Ed Giovanola, first ball swinging. Just like Tom Grieve watched it. Cedeno makes the play, and there is 1 out in the 5th. Oh, we brought you the trivia question from the associates a moment ago. Who has more saves since the start of the '95 season? Is it Hoffman or is it Wetland? And the answer, please. It's Hoffman with 126. Trevor Hoffman, the closer for San Diego, who, by the way, makes his home in South Lake right here in the area. Trevor Hoffman never on the All-Star team.
Could very easily change this year.
I would think so. Padres have been in first place, and he's 16 for 16 in save opportunities. Andy Sheets is the hitter. 1 ball and 1 strike. He is the Padres shortstop, number 9 hitter, Sheets. Here's the 2-1 pitch from Bobby Witt to Andy Sheets.
Sheets was selected by the Devil Rays in the expansion draft. Came over to the Padres in the trade with Brian Boehringer, who has pitched in this series out of the bullpen for John Flaherty. He's the catcher for Tampa Bay.
Well, there's the walk to Andy Sheets. There is 1 out and a man on now here in the 5th inning. Mark Langston, the starting pitcher for the Padres this afternoon. And you know, Tom, we saw the horn man making music earlier. Mark Langston is a guy who can make some music himself. He plays the guitar, and so does the third base coach for the Padres, Tim Flannery. In fact, Flannery is rather accomplished as a musician. He has his own band, the Tim Flannery Band. The Secret World CD debuted in January of last year.
All they need is Bob Cluck to sing some golden oldies. He does a little bit of that himself. Former pitching coach for the Oakland A's.
Silvio Veras is the hitter. 1 out and a man on. In fact, Tim Flannery has performed a series of concerts in Southern California and Arizona with Merle Haggard.
Wow.
He has performed with Merle Haggard in the past, Jimmy Buffett, and Willie Nelson. That's how accomplished he is. Veras fouls it off. In fact, Rick Sutcliffe, who does the analysis on the Padre TV network, was telling us before the game that Flannery and Langston, when the team arrives at a hotel, they'll just sit down at the piano and get out the guitar, and in the lobby of the hotel they'll make music. Keeps it lively. Now John Radican can join them, and we'll have a trio. In the infield, a pop. Alicea makes the play, and just back in at first base is Sheets.
I hit Veras right off the fist. A little blooper. Alicea actually circled around it and had to come in for it. Silvio shaking his head. Trying to sneak back to first base ahead of Andy Sheets, but no luck.
So there are 2 outs now here in the 5th inning. Steve Finley is the hitter with a man on at first base.
They showed Jerry Reinsdorf in Wrigley Field yesterday as the Cubs were knocking off the White Sox. If he's there today, he's not seeing much.
Well, this one's off the wall in the left field corner. Around third is Sheets, and he will score, and Steve Finley comes through again, his 2nd double of the game. He has 2 runs scored in the game, and he now has an RBI, and we are tied at 3.
Finley got off to a slow start, but he's been hitting well the last couple of weeks, and he continues it today. Gets a pitch away, drives it away. Kelly can't get there. Ball hits off the screen near the ground screw. Rivera gets it in as quickly as he can, but Sheets scores. With 2 outs, you don't have to wait and see if the ball's going to be caught. You're running all the way.
Now Gwynn will be put on here. An intentional walk to Tony Gwynn with first base open, a runner at second, and 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Greg Vaughn, the cleanup man, will hit with 2 men on and 2 outs. So Reinsdorf was at the game.
He was at the game yesterday. If he's there today, he's seeing the Cubs up 13-2 in the 7th inning
against his White Sox. Well, his game is later today.
Yeah.
When the Bulls play in Chicago tonight. Well, the Cubs, are they ever hot? Cubs are well on their way now to their 9th consecutive win. They are tied for first place with the Astros in the National League Central, improving to 37-24 with the win this afternoon. Crabtree up in the Ranger bullpen. Greg Vaughn is the hitter, and a big swing and a miss. Vaughn hit a line shot double to the wall in left center field his first time up. That scored the first run of the game. He is 1 for 9 in the series, though. That was his only hit of this 3-game series. With 2 men on, and we are tied at 3. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And this will be the 77th pitch of the afternoon for Bobby Witt. This one is Vaughn, sends it deep to left field, and it is out of here. For the 11th consecutive series, Greg Vaughn has a home run. It's a 3-run shot. It's a 3-run lead for San Diego. As Finley scores, he had doubled. Gwynn scores, he had received the intentional walk, and Vaughn delivers his 21st home run of the year.
Vaughn just missed a home run the first time up. He hit a line shot off the base of the wall. This time he gets a hanging slider. That pitch is supposed to be about a foot more outside. It's right out over the plate, and this ball's hit just as hard as his double, only he gets it up high enough to get over the fence in left field. Line shot home run by Vaughn, his 4th RBI, and a pitch that Bobby Witt would like to have back.
Greg Vaughn now with 4 RBIs in this game, has 52 on the season, and his series just got a whole lot better.
Vaughn is trying to pull the ball, pudge outside, but the ball stays in. Vaughn knows that ball's gone.
Comes with 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Makes this a 4-run inning for San Diego. Rangers led 3-2 going to the 5th inning. It's now 6-3 San Diego. Hit to the right side. Clark will make the play. He'll do it himself to retire Joyner. But 4 runs into the inning, and the Rangers trail by 3 thanks to Greg Vaughn. Good Sunday afternoon to you from the ballpark in Arlington. Thanks for joining us for Rangers baseball here on Fox Sports Southwest. It's the Rangers and the San Diego Padres. Wrapping up this 3-game series. Texas takes the first 2 games of the series. San Diego has taken the upper hand here in game 3 now. Bill Jones and Tom Grieve. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, we're halfway through this one, and the Rangers all of a sudden find themselves trailing by 3 runs. It's 6-3 San Diego. Both teams with 5 hits, but the big 4 spot for San Diego in the top half of this inning. And Pudge Rodriguez leads things off against Mark Langston. Fouls it off right side, 0-1. Well, Langston has to like the looks of this as he now has a 3-run lead. If he can get through the 5th inning, he will have enough to qualify for a win. This is popped up right side, and it will reach the seats behind the Ranger dugout. Langston ahead, no balls and 2 strikes against Pudge. Rodriguez, Gonzalez, and Clark here in the 5th inning for Texas. Rodriguez moved up to the number 3 spot in the order this afternoon. As Rusty Greer out of the lineup to start the day. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And this one's hit sharply to Giovanola. Ranging to his left at third. He makes the play. Nice play by the Padre third baseman. And there is 1 out here in the 5th inning. Tonight at 10, it's Fox Sports News Prime Time. All the scores, all the stories, all the action from your primetime team. 7 nights a week, we are there. Fox Sports News Prime Time tonight at 10. Here's Gonzalez. Gonzalez got RBI number 77 on the year, his last time up. Single that hit off the pitcher Langston and then dribbled past the second baseman Veras into shallow right field. Here is the 1-0 pitch from Langston. It's in there for a strike, 1-1. Well, the Yankees have won their 7th in a row now, and David Cone is now 8-1 on the season. Cone, a complete game 2 hitter against the Marlins this afternoon. Sharply right at Giovanola. And there quickly are 2 outs in the 5th. David Cone with 14 strikeouts against the Marlins this afternoon. A 4-1 win, New York over Florida. O'Neill, Tino Martinez, and Bernie Williams. Solo homers for each of them this afternoon. And the Yankees are only 44-13 on the season. Well, you look at the other races in the American League, and not much of a race for the division leads either side. As the Yankees well up on the Red Sox. Same way for the Indians in the Central Division. Will Clark gets a 2-out single to center field. He is 1 for 2 this afternoon.
Well, Joe Torre can get his rotation straightened out for the playoffs. Doesn't look like they're going to have much competition. On the other hand, the wild card race in both leagues could be very interesting, especially the National League. A lot of teams involved, 10 or 12 games over 500. Got the Mets, Cubs, Houston, San Diego. Could all be battling for that wild card.
In fact, right now, these Padres are tied in the wild card race. A virtual tie with either the Cubs or the Astros. Both are 12 games over 500 and tied for the lead in the National League Central. Padres are 12 games over 500, 1 game behind San Francisco in the West. And the Mets are 10 games over 500, so they are right in there too. Rangers trying to rally here in the home half of the 5th inning with Mike Sims at the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Clark with a 2-out single is on at first base, and this one is popped into shallow center field. Finley has it for the final out in the 5th inning. So a 2-out single by Clark, but he is left stranded, and we are through 5 here at the ballpark. Bobby Witt and the Rangers trail it by 3. The Rangers on Fox Sports Southwest are brought to you by Texas Million, the new game from the Texas Lottery, with drawings held every Friday night at 9:59. Go to the 6th inning here at the ballpark. Bobby Witt facing Mandy Romero to lead things off for the Padres. San Diego leads Texas 6-3 through 5 innings. Romero 0 for 2 with a couple of fly ball outs this afternoon. It's 2-0 to Romero.
Johnny's still got the bullpen going. Those guys are ready out there. I don't think he's going to go very long with Bobby in the 6th inning unless he has a good inning.
This is popped down the third base side, and Tatis is able to get under it and make the play.
And that's the start of a good inning. It's Mandy Romero to pop up in foul territory.
And now Witt will face Ruben Rivera. Look at the crowd on a Sunday afternoon. Bat day here at the ballpark. And the biggest bat of all wielded by Greg Vaughn of the Padres so far as he got the 3-run homer in the 5th. That's the difference in this 6-3 lead for San Diego. Rivera getting the start in left field this afternoon. Takes a strike, 0-1. Oh, we have our first 9-game winner in baseball this afternoon as Atlanta beat Baltimore 9-0, and Greg Maddux is now 9-2. Complete game, 4-hit shutout for Greg Maddux against the Orioles this afternoon. And Andres Galarraga with a couple of home runs for the Braves, giving him 23 on the year. Goodwin takes the liner off the bat of Rivera. And there are 2 outs here in the 6th.
He said, "Let's go Rangers." Not easy getting those peanuts out of the shell.
Got a stray hand in there.
Checking to see how many are left once that hand got out of there, too.
Nothing like a Sunday afternoon at the ballpark, cracking peanuts and watching baseball. Giovanola is the hitter. 1-0. Well, the good news is he told you Galarraga with a couple of home runs this afternoon. Good news about going to Denver is the Rockies no longer have Galarraga in that lineup. He's got 23 home runs on the year now. And people were talking that the reason Galarraga was hitting all the home runs in Denver is because of the altitude. Well, he's hitting a lot of home runs in Atlanta, too. Rockies do still have Larry Walker, Dante Bichette, Ellis Burks, Vinny Castilla with over 20 home runs himself. 3 balls and 1 strike.
A lot of people were criticizing the Braves for acquiring Galarraga and letting Freddie McGriff go, but Galarraga has done a terrific job for Atlanta. Freddie McGriff has been struggling with Tampa Bay.
Good one going back on it and reaches up and handles it. 1, 2, 3 go the Padres again. 3 up, 3 down in all the even numbered innings for San Diego this afternoon against Bobby Witt. To cap a 4-run 5th inning for San Diego. Mark Langston into his 6th inning of work now with a 6-3 lead, facing Roberto Kelly to lead things off for Texas. And there's a strike, 0-1. Kelly is 0 for 6 since returning from the disabled list last night. Average has fallen under 300. He was hitting very well before going on the disabled list. Johnny Oates had a terrific combination going with Kelly, getting the starts in center field against left-handed pitchers and Goodwin against right-handed pitchers. 1-1 pitch. 1-2 to Kelly.
Langston has gotten stronger as the game goes on. You really want to look at one critical play in this game. It's probably the play in the 1st inning. And Alisea tried for home on ball 4 that rolled away from the catcher and was tagged out at the plate for the 3rd out in the inning. It was the 2nd walk in the inning. It had loaded the bases. Roberto Kelly was coming up. Rangers had 1 run in. It was a big play for Langston. Let him get out of the inning, back in the dugout. Gave up a couple of runs in the 3rd, but he's been better since that point in time.
Yes, it was a rocky beginning for Langston. Let him off the hook. Kelly, the strikeout. 2nd time that he has struck out against Langston this afternoon. This one comes to lead off the 6th inning. There's 1 down in the 6th. It's everyone's favorite. It's Decker Foods Dollar Hot Dog Night here at the ballpark. It's Tuesday, June 16th, 1 week from Tuesday. Spend the evening with the Rangers, the Athletics, and all of the dollar dogs you can eat. Tuesday, June 16th at 7:35. For tickets, stop by any Dillard's box office or call Metro 817-273-5100. That's when Ben Grieve and the Athletics make their first visit to the Tom, I guess you're probably already being hit up for tickets.
No, not too much.
Oh, yeah?
People really haven't. I think they know that they're going to be hard to come by.
Into right field, Cedeno dumps a single the other way, and Cedeno has a hit in his 5th straight game.
I have talked to a lot of people that are going to come to the games who've already gotten their tickets. I imagine Ben has been hit up for tickets by a lot of his friends.
Ought to be special.
Domingo gets on the board with a base hit. Gets something going for the Rangers. Bochy is coming to the mound, and that'll probably be it for Langston. Looked like Bochy was going to let Langston go as far as he could until there was a base runner. And he's going to go to the bullpen now.
Well, he's got to be pleased that Langston is able to make it this far the way this one started for him. A pitching change at the ballpark. He's over the Rangers 6-3 as we play in the bottom of the 6th inning, and let's check in once again with Mr. Radigan. John.
Hey, Bill, bat day at the ballpark, and the bat honors Juan and Pudge, who won Silver Slugger awards last year. Picked up one of these for my 2-week-old son Cal, but how's he going to hold this slippery bat handle? Figure maybe I'll just dress it up just a little bit for him. A little pine tar ought to help. I don't know what the rest of these kids are going to do. Maybe next homestand they can have a free pine tar day at the ballpark. Back to you guys.
That'd be a popular day with the families.
Yeah, I'm sure. Be a messy day.
Carlos Reyes in to pitch. He's had an excellent start to the season. 288 earned run average, only 19 hits in 25 innings, 21 strikeouts, only 4 walks. Reyes has been tough on right-hand hitters, hitting only 220. He's been tough on lefties. They're hitting only 216. Been in the Braves, A's, and Yankees organizations. In fact, he was the A's opening day starter back in 1996. Pitching out of the bullpen now and doing a pretty good job.
Facing Tatis, it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Reyes is not a hard thrower. Throws a lot of changeups, a lot of off-speed pitches. But he does it with good control, and he's been effective this year.
Now a runner at first base, Domingo Cedeno, who got the single. Last batter that Mark Langston faced. Now Reyes facing Tatis, who got 2 hits off Langston this afternoon. And he's ahead 1 ball and 2 strikes of Tatis.
A good changeup from Reyes. It's almost like the changeup that Doug Jones throws. Not only does it come in slower, it drops right at the end.
Cedeno, the runner at first base. A check on him. Domingo and Fernando have been doing it at the bottom of the order this weekend against the Padres. Tatis now has 5 hits in his last 8 at-bats. But not this time for Fernando. Reyes gets him.
Fernando occasionally will lapse back into that bad habit of trying to pull the ball and pull off the ball. He does so right here. Watch his head go toward third base. Tries to hit the ball out of the ballpark in left field, instead of sticking with what's made him successful the last month, and that's going back up the middle and trying to drive the ball into right center field.
Here's Goodwin back to the head of the order. 1-0. Looks like it's getting windier and it's more overcast now here at the ballpark. You can see the blue skies overhead now. Been pretty breezy all afternoon. 1 ball, 1 strike. Big crowd on a Sunday, and they are hopeful for a Ranger rally in the late innings this afternoon. Good one to center field. This one is handled by Finley for the final out. So Carlos Reyes comes on and gets the 2 men he faces to get out of the inning. We are through 6 at the ballpark, and the Rangers trail 6-3. Next Sunday is MBNA Rusty Greer commemorative pin night for all fans. It's the first of a 4-piece set. So it's time to start collecting next Sunday as the Rangers take on the Anaheim Angels at 7:05 here at the ballpark. Visit an ATM kiosk at Kroger or call Metro 817-273-5100 for tickets. Bobby Witt working into the 7th inning this afternoon. Trails 6-3, faces the number 9 hitter in the order, Andy Sheets, to start off the 7th. And this one is popped into shallow center. Goodwin running in on it and makes the play. And there is the first out in the 7th inning. Well, another first pitch, first out here in the 7th inning. It's the 4th time in 7 innings this afternoon that Witt has retired the first batter on 1 pitch. And that is the only pitch he will throw in the 7th inning as Kilby O'Veras in the top of the order due up next. A switch hitter and 2 left-handers due. A pitching change here at the ballpark in Arlington. Friday's Front Row Sports Grill. It's open year-round for your dining and viewing pleasure. Friday's Front Row, the only place to be before, during, and after the game. It is busy there on a Sunday afternoon, you can be sure today. Located right there in the home run porch here in the ballpark in Arlington. We are in the top of the 7th inning. Bobby Witt threw 1 pitch, got 1 out. Andy Sheets on a pop to center. And now Eric Gunderson is the new pitcher for Texas. So he will face the top of the order for the Padres. Kilby O'Veras first.
Pretty nice numbers for Eric Gunderson. ERA under 1. He's given up a hit an inning. He's had good control. Pitched 2 scoreless innings in his last 3 appearances. He's only given up 2 runs in his last 18 innings. So Eric's been pitching very well.
In fact, there's Gunderson, Gunderson, Gunderson. They're everywhere. Eric Gunderson. It's on the monitors underneath the stands. The closed circuit telecast underneath the stands here at the ballpark. Lee Stevens has bat in hand. He hopes to get a chance. Probably will in the late innings, as it's a right-handed bullpen for the Padres. This kid hopes to get a chance too someday. But right now, it's Eric Gunderson's turn to face Kilby O'Veras with 1 out in the 7th. Trying to keep this a 3-run lead for the Padres. This one is hit foul right side. No balls and 1 strike to Veras. A couple of other AL West teams in action this afternoon. Oakland trailing Arizona 2-0 in the 4th, and Seattle trails the Dodgers 1-0 in the 2nd. Mariners and the Athletics start the day tied for 3rd in the West, 10.5 games back of Texas. 1-1 to Veras, to be followed by Steve Findlay here in the 7th. Middle of the infield. Who's got it? Nobody has it. It's a base hit for Veras.
Now there is a hit. Veras got jammed on that, but it's the 2nd time he's gotten jammed in his last 2 at-bats. And once he popped up to Alicea left-handed over toward first base. This one is right-handed. And Louis knows he has to catch it in the air. You can't wait for it, because if you do, it's going to be a base hit. He had to dive for it, couldn't come up with it. Veras gets the infield hit. Veras takes a big swing, left-handed and right-handed, for a leadoff guy without much power. He's smiling. He'll take it.
He can smile there. We've talked about it. It seems like they even out in the long run. He gets the cheap single in the infield this time, but last night he hit a couple of balls very well that were outs. Alicea to Cedeno on to first in time. The great scoop by Clark, and what a double play. Turned by Alicea and Cedeno. Perhaps that will jumpstart the Rangers as it's stretch time on a Sunday in Arlington. Next Sunday at 1 o'clock, Texas State Optical presents a spirited look at the Texas Special Olympics here on Fox Sports Southwest. The special will highlight the summer games held in Houston, where more than 3,500 athletes showcase their skills and determination. Don't miss the Texas Special Olympics special presented by Texas State Optical. It is next Sunday at 1 o'clock here on Fox Sports Southwest. Luis Alicea leads off the bottom of the 7th inning, trying to get the Rangers started. He started the double play to end the top half of the 7th inning. Now he tries to do it at the plate. That was a nifty double play turned by Texas to end the top of the 7th.
Yeah, the ball was well hit. Alicea going to his left. Had to turn and throw to Cedeno, who turned it quickly. Very nice double play.
It's 2 balls and no strikes. Carlos Reyes, second pitcher of the afternoon. 3 balls, no strikes to Alicea. Take a look at Luis in the field.
They make it look easy. It's not as easy as it looks to make that kind of a play.
3-0 pitch is in there. It's 3-1. Alicea hit by a pitch in the 1st. He walked in the 3rd and scored a run. And he popped to short in the 4th inning. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And that's in there too. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Reyes has good movement on his fastball. He's just trying to throw a strike right now, and still the ball moved. That sinking, tailing action from left to right. Doesn't throw very hard in the low 80s. Still effective with his fastball. There's 82 miles an hour with a fastball. Slower you throw, the more important it is to have good movement. Certainly good location. Harder you throw, the more you can get away with sometimes. Usually.
Here's the payoff pitch, and it's downstairs. Ball 4. Alicea draws his 2nd walk of the afternoon. Rangers with a base runner, and the big guns coming up.
Reyes doesn't walk very many, only 4 walks in 25 innings. He walks the leadoff hitter in the 7th. That is usually a big-time no-no, especially when he's the 2nd hitter. The big guys in the lineup are coming up.
Rodriguez got a 3rd inning single off Langston. He's up there with a man on, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. And again, as we've talked about before, it is also important not to be behind against this Padre team going to the 9th inning. Trevor Hoffman in the bullpen. The way he has been pitching this season, 16 for 16 in save opportunities. It's 1-1 to Rodriguez. And Maselli, we saw earlier in this series, is throwing in the Padre bullpen right now. Rodriguez fights that one off. It's 1-2. Angels will play tonight against the Rockies. The Ranger lead in the West is 3.5 games as the day begins. Astros win over the Royals this afternoon, 7-1 the final score in that one. So the Astros keeping pace with the Cubs in the National League Central. Two balls, 2 strikes to Pudge. And strike 3 called. Drew Coble rings up Rodriguez, and Pudge wasn't sure about the call at all. Take a look at the pitches to Pudge.
First pitch from Reyes, a slider in the outside corner. Pudge can't lay off it. A fastball down. Fastball fouled away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Just misses with a slider. And then the fastball down and in. Reyes gets the call. Pudge doesn't like it. Dave Stewart is out to the mound to talk to Reyes.
Reyes
Stu
has
talks, they listen.
Yes, and he does have the respect of the pitchers on that Padres staff. Stewart heads back. The overhead shot of strike 3.
Pretty close. Tough to call.
Rodriguez, second time tonight or this afternoon that he has struck out.
It's one, if you don't get the call, the pitcher's mad. The pitcher gets the call, the hitter's mad. And the umpire is the one that has to make the tough choice.
So here's Gonzalez with a man on and 1 out here in the 7th. It's in tight to 1, 1-0. Gonzalez hit the ball hard his last time. It was a line drive right at the third baseman Giovanola. He had an RBI single in the 3rd on a ball that hit Langston and then went into shallow right field past the second baseman Veras. He also walked Alicea back in at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike. .333 in his career against Reyes, the former Oakland Athletic. Couple of home runs for Juan against Reyes. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Lays off it, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Gonzalez had a home run in the first game of this series on Friday night. He's in a pretty good home run groove over the last couple of weeks. And it's now 3-1 as Reyes works very carefully to 1.
Well, as carefully as you want to work, you still don't want to walk him and bring the tying run to the plate. Creates a dilemma for the pitcher, trying to make a perfect pitch. Will Clark on deck. Had a line shot his last time up for a base hit, has a sacrifice fly.
And there is ball 4-1.
Take it.
2 walks here in the 7th inning for Reyes, sandwiched around a strikeout.
Clark has been swinging a pretty hot bat in the last 5 days. 400 in the last 5 days coming into the ball game. He's 1 for 2 today. A guy you like to see up in this situation.
Facing a right-handed pitcher, looking for his 3rd straight 2-hit game against the Padres. There's a strike, 0-1.
Good overhand curveball by Reyes. Sharp breaking curveball.
In his career against Reyes. Runners at first and second, 1 out, and here's the 0-1 pitch to Clark. He fouls it off right side, and Reyes works ahead now. No balls and 2 strikes. Well, Clark came through in the 3rd inning with a sacrifice fly and an opportunity in the 1st with a man at 3rd and 1 out, and hit a foul pop to 3rd. He was frustrated after that one, and had a single in the 5th. 34 RBIs on the year. 1-2 to Will. Clark represents the tying run at the plate here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Clark. And Will sends this one to center field. Going back is Finley. He's looking up, and it is out of here. A home run for Will Clark, and we are tied. Clark comes through this time. It's a 3-run homer to center field. It's a 6-6 game. And how those walks will come back to haunt a pitcher.
Yeah, you have to be careful to Gonzalez, but you have to also remember there's a 3-run lead. If he hits a home run, you're still ahead by a run. Chances of him getting on base by a base hit are still about 30%, so you've got a 70% chance of getting him out. So you don't want to walk him in that situation, because this is what can happen. Didn't look like a home run off the bat, but it looked like it carried well to dead center field. And Will's got his 4th RBI of the day. Clark has balanced out Greg Vaughn.
And Clark has his 9th home run of the season. He now has 37 RBIs, and we are tied at 6 in the 7th inning. A frustrating day for Carlos Reyes.
6-6 in the 7th inning at the ballpark in Arlington, and I am with a true Rangers fan. Tanya Tucker told me just before Will Clark came to bat that she has sung here once before the Rangers lost, but she said they're not losing this year.
Absolutely not. No, that we're Rangers all the way. I tell you, that was great. Wasn't it a double play? That was really wonderful. It's so exciting out here today.
Tanya sung the national anthem, and she was cheering with the rest of the sellout crowd as Will Clark hit that home run.
It was great. Now here's going to be your next Ranger, Texas
right?
Ranger right here. This is my son Bo Grayson, and this is my little girl Presley, and we are just enjoying this game so much. Everybody's been so wonderful, and we felt not just proud to be a Texan, but proud to be a Rangers fan.
We do appreciate it, Tanya. Great job on the national anthem, and thanks for joining us. Bill and Tom, back to you guys.
All right, a real Ranger fan. Back 3 of them there. And Will Clark hits the 3-run homer to match Greg Vaughn's 3-run homer earlier, and we are tied at 6 with Dan Maselli, the new pitcher, facing Rusty Greer, the pinch hitter.
Maselli a hard thrower. Reyes a soft tosser. Maselli's a hard thrower. Maselli allowed a couple of hits and struck out 2 in a scoreless inning the first night of this series. Got off to an excellent start. He had an ERA of right over 2 in April. A little bit over 5 in May.
6-6 game, bottom of the 7th inning. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rusty. Greer gets the first 6.5 innings of this one off. It's 2-2 to Rusty. Now the Rangers this year have had some come from behind wins, trying to make it another one in the 7th inning or later this afternoon. They have 10 wins on the season, games decided in the 7th inning or later. Here's the 2-2. This is something we haven't heard in a while. The fans begin a Rusty chant here at the ballpark. Two balls, 2 strikes. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rusty, one of the more popular Ranger players. And there is the Rusty-nator. This one is hit high in the air to left field. Ruben Rivera handles it, and there's the 2nd out of the 7th inning. So Maselli retires Greer for the 2nd out. Roberto Kelly due next, and with the right-handed bullpen of the Padres, Lee Stevens will hit for Kelly. Stevens, a guy who can give the Rangers the lead with 1 swing of the bat. 2 outs here in the 7th. You're tied at 6. All 1 to Stevens. Mike Sims had started the game in right field, Kelly in left field, so Greer will go into left and Stevens into right in the top of the 8th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. Will Clark there on your left. with now 101 RBIs in his career against the Padres. That's the most runs batted in he's had against any team. Of course, Clark many years in the National League with the Giants. And he has 4 of them this afternoon. 2-1 pitch. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Padres are a struggling team right now. And the Rangers trying for a come from behind win this afternoon and a sweep of this series. Tomorrow in Colorado, it's Aaron Seeley and Pedro Astacio going the first of a 3-game series against the Rockies. So Aaron Seeley, the first Ranger pitcher to hit in the game this year. Another foul ball. Other pitchers going in the Colorado series. Rick Helling goes on Tuesday and Darren Oliver on Wednesday. There's Helling. He has hit before. He's been a National Leaguer with the Florida Marlins. Johnny Oates says that Darren Oliver is the best hitting pitcher on the team.
He used Bobby Witt as a pinch hitter, though.
Yes, he did. Not sure what the reasoning was for sure on that, but
Bobby's had more experience than Darren.
And there's ball 4 to Stevens. Rangers have the potential go-ahead run on base now with 2 outs in the 7th.
The other thing you worry about Darren being a left-hand pitcher and batting right-handed is that exposes your left arm to the pitcher if you're hit by a pitch. So chances are Johnny wouldn't want to do that. Bobby Witt, of course, is a right-hand pitcher. If he's going to get hit, it'll be his left arm. If I remember right, Darren was hit by a pitch last year.
Yes, he was. It was in Colorado. He had a base hit in his first at bat. In his second at bat, he was squaring around trying to bunt. Which way did the ball go? It went into the dugout. It was a splintered bat. Parts of the bat went one way and the ball went the other way.
That's another one of those balls hit right off the end of a cupped bat. Instead of sliding off the bat like it would a rounded bat, hits that cupped part and chips the wood right off the bat. You see that quite a bit. Most of the hitters used a cupped bat.
Balls in 1 strike to Cedeno as he has some new lumber. And it's 1-1. In the Ranger bullpen, Bales and Patterson have been throwing. Gwynn, Vaughn, and Joyner due up for the Padres in the 8th inning. Just tap foul to the right side. But on Darren Oliver, he was squaring around to bunt after getting a double his first at bat in Colorado last year. He was hit by a pitch trying to get out of the way of an inside pitch. One ball and 2 strikes to Cedeno. This one is hit to second. Veras bobbles, recovers, and gets Cedeno for the final out of the 7th. But Will Clark ties this game at 6-6. A 3-run homer for the Sheriff.
Sports Southwest are brought to you by Lowe's. When it comes to home improvement, Lowe's knows.
Will Clark, the hitting hero in the 7th inning as he got the 3-run homer, his 9th of the season. He has a 4 RBI game going. It's the most RBIs he's had in the game since the 1996 season, and it's a 6-6 game as we are to the 8th inning. The left-hander Eric Gunderson facing Tony Gwynn. There's a strike. Well, it's not often that Gwynn has consecutive hitless games. Last night he went 0 for 4, and he does not have a hit this afternoon. He had 3 hits in the first game of this series. 1 ball and 1 strike. A swing and a miss. 1 and 2 to Gwynn. Tony Gwynn has never gone more than 3 games without a hit.
That's unbelievable.
Alicea makes the play, and there is 1 out in the 8th. He is 0 for 3 this afternoon. Let's look at the chart on Tony Gwynn, the hitting chart, and where he gets his base hits.
He goes predominantly to right field, but he still sprays the ball. A lot of balls to center and left center field. He uses the whole field, but most of them go to right field. That's going to be it for Eric Gunderson. See Danny Patterson come in to face Greg Vaughn.
It is a tie game here in the 8th inning. Got the right-handed hitting Greg Vaughn up next, and then a left-handed hitter Wally Joyner after that. We've got a pitching change at the ballpark. The Rangers on Fox Sports Southwest are brought to you by the Learning Channel. Adventures for your mind. Back here at the ballpark, Danny Patterson is the new pitcher. There's 1 out in the 8th inning. Gunderson got Gwynn to start the inning. Patterson faces Greg Vaughn, the home run hitter for the Padres this afternoon. 2 balls and 1 strike. The numbers on Patterson.
.270 earned run average. It's been .238 in his last 10 games. 3 earned runs in 11 1/3. And a good changeup. Balkan splitter, whatever you want to call it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, Oates making the move to Patterson as Eric Gunderson, the left-hander. Right-handed hitters are hitting .327 this year off Gunderson. Right-handed hitters hitting .159 off Patterson. Thus the move with Greg Vaughn, the hitter. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gunderson goes 1 inning in this game. Gave up 1 hit. The little bloop in the infield. It was off the bat of Veras. He jammed him on. 2 balls and 2 strikes from Danny Patterson to Greg Vaughn. And 3 balls and 2 strikes. Patterson does not walk many. He only has 2 walks on the season. Did have a walk in his last appearance on Friday. In fact, he walked Greg Vaughn, the hitter here. Vaughn around on this one, sends it deep down the line in left, and it is foul. So we'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes. It'll be interesting to see what Johnny does to Greg Vaughn, a left-handed hitter coming up next.
I think if Vaughn gets on base, he'll probably go to the bullpen and Scott Bales, and he might, whether he gets on base or not.
Bales getting ready in the bullpen.
Got that 7-man bullpen again, so you can mix and match pretty well.
Well, there's a walk to Vaughn. Second time in the series that Patterson has walked Vaughn. 2 of his 3 walks on the season. So Vaughn heads down to first base. A 1-out base runner for the Padres. Here's our baseball fact brought to you by Lowe's. Lowe's knows the answer. The Rangers 14 games over 500 through 60 games. It ties their best record through 60 games in franchise history. 1996, the division championship year. They were also 37-23. Wally Joyner is the hitter. It's 1-0.
Patterson stays in there to face Joyner. thing that Danny has that kind of equalizes the effect of the lefty-righty situation is that off-speed pitch. That's hard for anybody to hit left or right.
Well, Joyner gets the base hit up the middle. Moving on to third is Greg Vaughn. And the Padres have the go-ahead run 90 feet away with 1 out in the 8th.
Fastball outside. Danny falls off the mound toward first base in his follow-through. Ball is straight up the middle. The way he falls off limits his ability to field that kind of a ground ball. And it goes into center field.
So due up next is Mandy Romero. We will have a pinch hitter here for the Padres, though. It is Ken Caminiti. Left-handed hitters hitting .355 off Danny Patterson. Caminiti, a switch hitter. Runners at first and third, and 1 out here in the 8th inning. Now, Caminiti has been out of the lineup the last couple of games, and he has been struggling at the plate. A .241 batting average. The Padres were hopeful of giving Caminiti a couple of days off to try to sort things out. He has been bothered by some injuries. He's been on the disabled list already this season. Now Dick Bosman will go to the mound to talk to Patterson as he falls behind 2 balls and no strikes against Caminiti. Caminiti, the regular third baseman. He was the '96 National League Most Valuable Player for the Padres.
What the Rangers need right here is a ground ball, double play. Get out of the inning, keep that man from third base from scoring. Caminiti has been struggling. They want a ground ball or a strikeout. Don't want a fly ball, though.
Caminiti hitting just .233 from the left side. First and third, 1 out. Fouled back. It's 2 balls and 1 strike to Caminiti. Patterson came on after Gunderson got Gwynn on a grounder to second to start this inning. Now it's 3-1 to Caminiti. Patterson had a walk to Vaughn and a single up the middle by Joyner. And here is the 3-1 pitch to Caminiti. It is ball 4, and the bases are now loaded. Right-handed hitting Ruben Rivera is the next hitter for San Diego. 2 walks for Patterson. Well, the Padres had a couple of walks that came back to haunt them in the 7th inning in front of Will Clark's 3-run homer. And now Patterson walks a couple with 1 out here in the 8th. Rodriguez out to the mound to talk to his pitcher. Rangers try to keep this a 6-6 game here in the 8th inning. But the Padres with a big challenge here. First pitch to Rivera. Misses. It's 1-0. Patterson has matched the number of walks he's had for the entire season in this inning alone with 2. There's a foul ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Rivera 0 for 3 in this game. A foul pop and a couple of fly balls to the outfield. Here is the 1-1 pitch to Ruben Rivera. This is in tight again. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, this is un-Danny Patterson-like. Last 3 games, he had given up no runs on no hits in 3 innings pitched. This is a foul ball to the left side. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 17 pitches in the inning for Danny Patterson. In fact, in Friday's game, it was his first walk since May 12th. There you see as a crowd gets into this a little bit now. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's 3-2. There's no place to put Ruben Rivera.
It gets interesting right here. Danny tried the Vulcan pitch on the 2-2 pitch. Now he's got to come in with a fastball to throw a strike. For Rivera, you're in a pretty good hitting situation, but you still have to get a strike. You don't want to swing at a bad pitch.
Payoff pitch, ball 4, and he walks in a run. The Padres take the lead on a bases loaded walk to Ruben Rivera here in the 8th inning. Greg Vaughn scores from third. He had walked. Joyner moves to third, Caminiti to second, and Rivera the runner at first here. 3 walks here for Danny Patterson in the 8th inning. Joyner had a single. And this is Ed Giovanola. 7-6 San Diego over Texas. Patterson misses away. 1 ball and no strikes.
And the reason you wouldn't pinch hit here, I mean not pinch hit, but bring in a new pitcher if you're Johnny Oates, is because you probably like this matchup better than the other matchup, who would be the pinch hitter, maybe Chris Gomez. The only problem is Danny's having a lot of problems throwing the ball over the plate. It's one thing to like the matchup, but Danny's got to throw strikes.
This is most unusual for Patterson. 1-0 to Giovanola. With the bases loaded here. And this is badly again. 2 balls and no strikes. Bobby Witt started this game for Texas with the first 6 1/3 innings. Gave up 6 runs, 5 of them earned on 5 hits. He was followed by Eric Gunderson, who got the first out of this inning. And then Patterson comes on. There's a strike, 2-1. A walk to Vaughn, a single by Joyner, a walk to Caminiti, loaded the bases, and then a bases loaded walk to Rivera. Scores the go-ahead run. And here's the 2-1 pitch to Giovanola. Now it is 3 balls and 1 strike. Patterson, a guy who has not had stretches of wildness in his career. Had 23 walks last year and 69 strikeouts. And there is ball 4. Misses on the 3-1 pitch, and that's the 4th walk of the inning, and the 2nd run crosses the plate on a bases loaded walk. Wally Joyner crosses the plate. 2 runs in the inning on 4 walks and a single. Johnny out to the mound to relieve Patterson, as Tim Crabtree will get the call from the Ranger bullpen. It's an 8-6 San Diego lead over Texas. We have a pitching change here at the ballpark in Arlington. Well, the Padres lead the Rangers 8-6 here in the top of the 8th inning. Padres have 8 runs on 7 hits. The Rangers 6 runs on 8 hits. A rough 8th inning for Danny Patterson, as 5 in a row have reached. There have been 4 walks. And finally Patterson out of there, and Andy Sheets is scheduled to be the hitter for the Padres, as Tim Crabtree is the new pitcher. He'll be facing a pinch hitter, Mark Sweeney.
Crabtree 3-0 on the season. 488 earned run average. He's got a tough situation. Bases loaded and 1 out. One thing he's got going for him is Mark Sweeney has really struggled as a pinch hitter this year. He's only 4 for 28. And he's going to hit with the bases loaded and 1 out. Rangers down now by 2.
Rangers fought back to tie this game in the bottom of the 7th inning on Clark's 3-run homer. But now San Diego with 2 across and still only 1 out here in the 8th inning. The bases loaded for the pinch hitter, Mark Sweeney. He hits for Andy Sheets. And Tim Crabtree facing Sweeney. Misses ball 1. Padres scored 4 runs in the 5th inning. Also scored runs back in the 1st and the 3rd. And they have 2 in the 8th to take the lead. There's a strike. It's 1-1. 217 is the average for Sweeney. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Crabtree, and it's through the left side, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes the runner from second. He will score as well. It's a 2-run single for Mark Sweeney as Caminetti and Rivera score, and this is a 4-run inning in the 8th. And it's a 4-run lead for San Diego. It's 10-6 Padres.
So much for the 4 for 28 as a pinch hitter. Sweeney adds to that with his 5th pinch hit and a couple of RBIs. Goes the other way with a pitch down and away, finds the hole and knocks in 2. Rangers in a hole now.
So 4 runs in the 8th. A 10-6 lead for San Diego. And top of the order, Kilvio Veras. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. All 4 runs charged to Danny Patterson. All 5 batters he faced got on. 4 walks and a single. His responsibility is still Ed Giovanola at second base. Sweeney the runner at first. Veras fouls it off. It's no balls and 2 strikes. This is the 8th batter of the inning for San Diego. Padres trying to improve to 38-25 on the year. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Veras. It misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rangers won game 1 in this series, 8-7 over the Padres. It was a wild game that went back and forth. They took game 2 3-0, a well-pitched game. That one's back to the mound. Crabtree will go to first and retire Veras. Runners at second and third now, and there are 2 outs in the 8th. And that'll bring Johnny Oates back out of the Ranger dugout with a couple of left-handed batters due next. Finley followed by Gwynn. Scott Bales will get the call from the Ranger bullpen in a 10-6 game. And the Padres with 2 in scoring position now with 2 outs here in the 8th inning. We have a pitching change at the ballpark. Here's 10-6 here in the top of the 8th inning. It's time for the Discover Card Payback Playback. And we take you way back to the 1st inning. Will Clark with an opportunity with a man at third and 1 out. Hit the foul pop, third base side. But the payback comes in the 7th inning as Clark gets the 3-run homer to center field. It tied the game at 6. It was a 6-6 game through 7 innings. Discover Card will donate $500 to the local chapter of the Make-A-Wish Foundation for a Rangers Grand Slam this afternoon's game. And that's what the Rangers will need right now as they trail by 4. Scott Bales is the new pitcher.
It'll be Scott's 27th game of the season. 1-0 on the year. ERA down to below 4 now. He's posted a 1.59 ERA in his last 16 games. His ERA has come all the way down from 7 to the current 3.98. Got men at second and third and 2 outs. A couple of left-handed hitters, Finley and Gwynn, due up.
In Bales, the 4th Ranger pitcher of the 8th inning. Gunderson started the inning, followed by Patterson, Crabtree, and now Bales. Padres bat around here in the 8th. 4 runs in and a chance for a couple more here with Steve Finley with a couple of doubles in the afternoon at the plate. Hit the ball well as last time. It was a double play, but hit it sharply to the right side, and Aliceo was able to flag it down and start the double play with Cedeno turning it. 1 ball and 1 strike to Finley. Another broken bat. This one is looped into shallow left center, and 2 more will score. It's a 6-run inning for San Diego. Finley gets his 2nd and 3rd RBIs of the afternoon as the Padres bat around and score 6 in the 8th. A 2-run single for Finley.
Finley shattered his bat, hit a little blooper over shortstop, right off the handle. He's left with about 6 inches of bat in his hand. He also has 2 more RBIs on the ledger. Fights it off in the left center field. Huge inning for the Padres and a bad line for Danny Patterson. Did not retire a batter. 4 walks and a single, and every one of them scored.
5
That will not help your ERA.
5 earned runs. Well, here's Tony Gwynn. He started this inning by grounding to second base for the first out. How many times has Tony Gwynn made 2 outs in 1 inning? Rangers need to get him here. Runner at first. There are 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch from Bales is in there. 2 balls and 1 strike. He is the 10th batter of this, the 8th inning. It's now 3 balls and 1 strike to Gwynn. Book is closed on Tim Crabtree as well. He went 1/3 of an inning, gave up 1 run on 1 hit. This is back up the middle, and it is through for a base hit, and Tony Gwynn will not have consecutive hitless games.
Chances are he's never done it.
He will not make 2 outs in 1 inning. So Gwynn is on at first. Finley moves up to second. And now Gwynn will leave this game as James Mouton will be the pinch runner for Tony Gwynn. It's the last we see of Tony Gwynn at the ballpark in 1998, unless these 2 teams are in the World Series. Rangers with 1 series against the Padres in 1998. Some high fives in that Padre dugout. They feel good about things right now as they lead it 12-6. Greg Vaughn in the shallow center. It's a long run for Goodwin. He is there and makes the play for the final out of the 8th inning. But 6-run score for San Diego. 12-6 Padres.
Fox Sports Southwest have been brought to you by Coors Light and by Gatorade Thirst Quencher.
It's the bottom of the 8th inning here at the ballpark in Arlington. Rangers find themselves 6 runs down after a 6-run 8th inning for San Diego. The Padres have a 4-run inning and now a 6-run inning and lead it 12-6. Tatis tries to get Texas started in the bottom of the 8th. What was a 6-6 game, now 12-6, and he drives it to right center. Finley says he has it, and he does. And there is 1 out in the 8th.
Better bat for Tatis. He went the other way that time after pulling off the ball the time before that. Drove it well to right center field.
Carlos Hernandez is now behind the plate.
There's Fernando waiting on the ball. Much better swing than the last time.
Tatis is 2 for 4 in this game. Tom Goodwin looking for his second hit of the game. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. One's fouled back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Well, after this game, Rangers head to Denver to play the Rockies. 3-game series Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday night. It's also a big week ahead as far as the Ranger organization is concerned. The owners' meetings take place later in the week in Seattle, and Mr. Thomas Hicks is expected to be approved as the new owner of the team this week. Goodwin fouls it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The vote is scheduled to take place on Thursday in Seattle, on the team's off day on Thursday. Another foul ball. Goodwin to be followed by Alicea here in the 8th inning. This one is skied to right center. Ruben Rivera is there, and he makes the play. Rivera moved over from left field to right field here in the bottom of the 8th as Tony Gwynn is pinch run for. James Mouton is in left field now. And new shortstop into the game as well is Chris Gomez. He is at short. Alicea takes a ball, 1-0. Now in Seattle in the 6th inning, the Dodgers lead the Mariners 1-0. This is a foul ball, just foul, first base side. In Oakland, the Diamondbacks lead the Athletics 8-4 in the 6th. Tonight, the Angels host the Rockies. Cubs won again this afternoon, 13-7 over the White Sox. That's 9 straight wins for Chicago.
Boy, they must be going crazy in Wrigley Field. Last 3 days, the Cubs playing great, bombing the White Sox, crosstown rivals. Great to be a Cub right now.
Well, they're 37-24 on the season, which will be precisely the Ranger record unless they can rally here in the final couple of innings. Three balls and 2 strikes to Alicea. That's what they had in mind with the whole idea about interleague play. Some question now as to whether interleague play will continue beyond this year. The players have to approve it for next year. There's a walk to Alicea. Rangers try to get things started with 2 outs here in the 8th.
3 walks for Alicea today.
And a hit batter as well.
It makes it sound like the players will not approve it if the schedule is not eased. All the 2-game series. Our last road trip certainly didn't play into the hand of interleague play. Creates those cross-country trips, 2-day homestands, 2-day visits to other cities. And the players say they don't mind interleague play, they just want a better schedule.
Pudge sends this one to right center, and Finley makes the play for the final out in the 8th inning. Rangers had a 2-out walk, but it's lucked on base. And we are through 8 at the ballpark. It's a 6-run lead for San Diego. 12-6 San Diego over Texas as we go to the 9th inning here at the ballpark tonight at 10. Be sure to join Fox Sports News Prime Time for all the scores, all the stories. They'll have all the post-game hoopla from the NBA Finals tonight. The Bulls and the Jazz, Game 3 from Chicago. and perhaps the post-game hoopla as well from NFL Europe, Frankfurt and Rhine. Well, a crowd this afternoon of 46,372. That's more than we had here last night. It is the 6th sellout of the season. 46,372, some of them in the luxury suites here at the ballpark. And to the 9th we go. And a new pitcher for Texas. It's the 6th pitcher of the afternoon. A guy who was finding his way to AAA Oklahoma yesterday, and he finds his way back to the major leagues today. Al Levine.
Well, Levine definitely didn't pitch his way back to AAA. He's pitched very well since he's been here. He was just caught up in the numbers game. Look at his numbers. They're pretty good. 1.50 ERA. Johnny was quoted as telling Allen when he told him he was going to have to be sent down, "You didn't do anything to get sent down. You just didn't have any other choice." Activated Roberto Kelly. Felt that they needed the extra position player. I don't think he ever got out of the clubhouse. He was given a couple of days to report to Oklahoma. And before those couple of days were up, he was back. Never left.
And here he is pitching in the 9th inning. This is lined to Greer in left. Joyner is retired. And there is one out in the 9th. That'll bring up Carlos Hernandez, who entered the game last inning. He is the catcher, to be followed by Ruben Rivera. A 12-6 game as this one gets away in the 8th inning. This is sharply hit into left field. A base hit for Carlos Hernandez. Mark Langston starting for the Padres this afternoon. They've used 3 pitchers. The Rangers have used 6 pitchers. There have been a total of 15 walks in this game. 8 from the Rangers side, 7 from the Padres side.
Somehow that doesn't surprise me.
It felt like more than 15.
Because that's just about what it felt like.
Also, there was a hit batter this afternoon. Ruben Rivera is 0 for 3. A swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes. Rangers will be moving on to play a Colorado team that is 10 games under 500 going into tonight's game in Anaheim. They're 26 and 36 on the year. This one is into left center. It is shallow and it falls between Greer and Goodwin. And 2 men are on against Levine here in the 9th. Consecutive singles. And the Padres, in addition to the 8 walks they have drawn, now have 12 hits.
Well, 7 of the runs that have scored got on base via the walk. Walked 8. 7 of them have scored.
This is one ugly game and one ugly scorecard. Ed Giovanola, the hitter here, 0 for 3. Did have a walk and scored in the 8th inning.
The Rangers don't play many like this, but occasionally you'll have one, no matter what kind of team you've got. Rangers obviously have a fine team, but this will not go down as a fine game for them.
Rangers had won 9 in a row at home in interleague action. This is a base hit over the head of Cedeno. Here comes Hernandez around to score. It's an RBI single for Giovanola, and it's now a 13-6 lead for San Diego. 3 straight singles in the 9th. Giovanola gets his 7th RBI of the season. In case you joined us late today. Mark McLemore was placed on the disabled list prior to the game with a pulled left hamstring. So the Rangers will be going the next couple of weeks without McLemore and without Kevin Elster as well. Levine called up to take McLemore's spot on the roster. Chris Gomez, the hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. And it's 2-0 to Gomez. 13 runs, 13 hits for San Diego, 6 runs, 8 hits for Texas. Rangers have left 9 men on base. This one's fouled off to the right side. Dodgers have put some big numbers on the board in Seattle. They lead the Mariners now 7-0 in the 6th inning. Well, the Mariners in danger of falling 8 games under 500 at 27-35 now. Jamie Moyer got the start for Seattle this afternoon. Twins beat the Pirates this afternoon 3-2. That snapped the Pirates' 7-game win streak, and there is the 16th walk of this game. 9th walk issued by Texas pitching, and Kilvio Veras will be the hitter for the 6th time today. Veras coming up.
How about a hard ground ball to second base, Kilvio? Put everybody out of their pain.
Bases are loaded with 1 out here in the 9th. Padres spent forever with the bases loaded in the 8th inning, and now they have them loaded again in the 9th. Sharply hit. It's through for a base hit.
Well, he tried.
Rivera scores. Here comes Giovanola. He will score as well. Moving on to second is Veras, and to third goes Gomez. 15-6. It's a 9-run lead.
It was a pretty good game when Will Clark hit the home run. Tied it up at 6, but it's been all Padres since then.
Indeed it has. Well, this is a 3-run inning after a 6-run 8th inning. The Padres have 4 singles and a walk. And Steve Finley is the next hitter.
7 different Padres with RBIs. 5 with multiple RBI games.
And Steve Finley is one of those. He's had a terrific day with the multiple RBI day. And he is at the plate. He has a multiple extra base hit day as well. He has 2 doubles and a 2-run single. And he has another hit into right center field. 2 more Padres will score. That one's going all the way to the wall, and it's the 3rd double of the afternoon for Steve Finley, and this is now a 5-run inning. It is 17-6, Padres over the Rangers.
Boy, when it rains, it pours.
5 RBIs on the afternoon for Finley. That gives him 31 on the year. Good news is the Rangers don't have to face Tony Gwynn here. James Mouton is the hitter. He pinch ran for Gwynn in the 8th. Ties a career high for Steve Finley with the 5 RBIs today. This one is to right field. Stevens is over. He makes the play, and there is the 2nd out in the 9th. And for the 2nd straight inning, the Padres bat around. Levine now faces Greg Vaughn, 9th hitter of the 9th inning. This was a 6-6 game through 7 innings. And the Padres have scored 11 runs in the last 2 innings. Way back when, in the 5th inning, Greg Vaughn gave the Padres the lead at 6-3. He snapped a 3-3 tie with a 3-run homer off Bobby Witt. He sends this one to center over his good one. He makes the play, and the Padres are finally retired in the 9th, but not before they score 5 more. Rangers need 11 to tie in the 9th. It's a 17-6 lead, the Padres over the Rangers. As we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, it's time for the Dallas Morning News Sports Day front page headline. Padres walk away with a win. Danny Patterson had all sorts of troubles locating the strike zone in the 8th inning. 4 walks among his 5 batters faced. It was a 6-6 game going to the 8th, but the Padres walking away with this one, a now lead by 11 as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. 6 in the 8th, 5 in the 9th. Padres have a 4-run inning in the 5th, a 5-run inning in the 9th, and a 6-run inning in the 8th. This is the most runs scored against the Rangers in a game this year. Yankees had that 15-13 game earlier. And Scott Sheldon gets an at-bat here. Juan Gonzalez was scheduled to lead off the 9th. He is done for the day, and Scott Sheldon gets an at-bat. Sheldon called up from AAA Oklahoma when Kevin Elster went on the disabled list.
He's going to have to get his at-bat against Trevor Hoffman, who has not been real easy to hit this year. 14 hits in 25 innings. He's 2-0. As you said earlier, Bill, 16 out of 16. The only bullpen closer who's been perfect this year. You go back, he's 43 out of his last 44, including 24 straight. That's the longest active streak currently in the major leagues. Rick Sutcliffe describes his changeup as one of the best changeups he's ever seen. Says he throws it with all 4 fingers on the ball. An unusual grip, and unusually good results. There's Rick Sutcliffe. Fine pitcher and a good guy.
Sutcliffe not only is a broadcaster for the Padres, but he helps as an assistant pitching coach of sorts as well. Hoffman gets the strikeout of Sheldon to start the 9th. So there's 1 out in the 9th, and Will Clark is the hitter. Last time Clark came to the plate, he tied this game with a 3-run homer in the 7th inning, just 2 innings ago. It was home run number 9 on the year for Clark. And the RBIs gave him a 4 RBI day. Now has 37 on the season. And Clark with 2 hits this afternoon. He is 2 for 3. The average back up near 300 again. Bat day at the ballpark. 1 ball, 1 strike. So the bats serve a dual purpose this afternoon. You can crack peanuts with the bat.
End up with peanut butter.
Peanut batter.
Smashed peanuts. She was doing them with her hands earlier in the ball game, but this has been a long game.
2-1 to Clark. And 3-1 to Clark. Trevor Hoffman can't add to the walk parade, can he?
Oh, I think it's possible.
Here's the 3-1 pitch to Clark. There's a strike. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rangers will return home to the ballpark on Friday when the Anaheim Angels come to town. 4 games against the 2nd place Angels. And yes, he can add to the walks. Every Padre pitcher has walked at least one now. 4 games against the Angels starting Friday. It's a Friday through Monday series, and then 3 against the Athletics. A 7-game homestand. Here's Greer batting for the 2nd time this afternoon. There's a strike, 0-1. Padre pitchers have now walked 8. Ranger pitchers have walked 9. A total of 17 walks in this game. And Hoffman's ahead, no balls and 2 strikes against Greer. That one gets away. Clark will move up to 2nd. Hoffman came to the Padres from the Florida Marlins. That was a trade that sent Gary Sheffield to the Marlins. Now, he is one of the best relief pitchers a lot of people have never heard about. Trevor Hoffman doesn't get a lot of ink, but very effective. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trevor's brother Glenn Hoffman, you will recall, was an infielder in the major leagues with the Red Sox, Dodgers, and the Angels.
Trevor obviously needs a day's work. Probably hasn't pitched in a while, but with an 11-run lead, it's hard to get that adrenaline flowing the same way it might be in a save situation.
And this is not a save situation. 2 outs now. And Hoffman will face Lee Stevens. Last chance for Texas here. Stevens drew what else? A walk in the 7th inning. 261 is the average for Lee. Again tomorrow night, it's Aaron Seeley against Pedro Estacio. Estacios had a rocky start for the Rockies. Rick Helling goes against John Thompson on Tuesday night, and it's Darren Oliver against Bobby Jones on Wednesday night. There are your Tuesday and Wednesday night starters. In tomorrow's matchup, Seeley tries to become baseball's 2nd 9-game winner. He's had a couple of shots at it. Greg Maddux won his 9th today for Atlanta. And Estacio with the high earned run average. Former Los Angeles Dodger. 2 balls and 1 strike. This one's fouled back, and Rangers down to their last strike. The Padres will take game 3 of this series. Rangers take the series, though, 2 games out of 3. And the 2-2 pitch to Stevens is in the dirt, gets away, and Clark will move on up to 3rd base. And it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rangers resume interleague play against the Arizona Diamondbacks here at the ballpark in a couple of weeks. The end of June. It'll be 2 against the Diamondbacks here, and then 2 at Phoenix against the Diamondbacks. That is a big bat for that youngster. And another walk. 2 walks for Trevor Hoffman in the 9th.
It's rubbing off on Trevor.
Now 4 Padre pitchers have at least 2 walks each.
I'll just come back and get that in a little while.
1st and 3rd are the runners, and Cedeno has a fair ball. Down the line in right. Clark scores. Stevens being waved home. Cedeno to 3rd. He has a 2-run triple off Trevor Hoffman. Cedeno with RBIs 13 and 14. He has his second hit of the game. And the lead is now 9. It's 17-8. Just fair inside the bag at first and on into the corner where Rivera comes up with it. Here's Tatis. Takes a strike. What was your total on walks coming around to score today?
Well, I think it was 7 out of 8.
Well, they're adding
for
2 more
them.
to it. Rangers have had, what, 4 or 5 walks score.
2, 3, 5 walks. The Rangers have had 5 walks score. And they've had 8. So 13 walks have scored. 13 out of 25 runs have gotten on base on a walk.
And now the Padre pitching staff has matched the Ranger pitching staff with 9 walks. So 13 of the 18 walks today have scored. This one is popped left side. Gomez has it, and mercifully this one is over. Rangers score 2 in the 9th. A 2-run triple for Domingo Cedeno. But the Padres take game 3 of this series. We'll be back with the final word when we come back on Fox Sports Southwest. And finally, here at the ballpark, the final numbers from this one as the Padres win over the Rangers 17-8. Out hit Texas 15-9. The walks were even, 9 apiece. Dan Maselli gets the win. He's 5-2. Patterson, the loss, he falls to 1-2. Greg Vaughn had a 3-run homer to give the Padres a lead. Will Clark a 3-run homer to tie it. But it was San Diego from there, Tom.
Well, it was about 2 hours ago, it felt like. Will Clark hit a 3-run homer that tied this game at 6, but it was all downhill from there. 11 runs in the last 2 innings for the Padres. Big days from Finley and Vaughn, 9 RBIs between them. And it's just one of those days you'd like to forget about, Bill, and we will, and we'll go to Colorado and start over tomorrow.
And John Radigan said early it would be a walk in the park this afternoon, and it was.
He was right.
For Tom Grieve, John Radigan, and our entire crew, Bill Jones saying good afternoon from Arlington. Once again, our final score 17-8 Padres. Be sure to join us for our next Fox Sports Southwest Rangers telecast 8 o'clock Wednesday as the Rangers continue interleague play in Denver against the Colorado Rockies. And don't forget, Fox Sports Southwest tonight begins at 7:30. You've been watching Texas Rangers baseball coverage on Fox Sports Southwest, your home of Fox Sports Net.